The female lead was born into a family filled with the constant bickering of her parents. To make matters worse, her younger sister was incredibly manipulative, a little actress who, even at a young age, knew how to play her parents against the female lead, earning their disapproval. But no one knew that the female lead was actually a hidden boss, feared and respected by all. Not only was she beautiful, but she possessed a radiant charisma and was multi-talented. This aura unintentionally caught the attention of a CEO doctor. He, undeterred by the distance, traveled to the city where she lived, hoping to see her more often. To find out if this fateful encounter will have a happy ending, please join us and watch with slanted eyes. Before we begin, please support us with a like and subscribe to the channel. Love you all very much. At a large hospital in the city center, the chirping of cicadas filled the air. From inside a hospital room, the sounds of a young couple arguing drifted out. The car is downstairs. I brought my mother to the city hospital for a checkup. Cheen will stay with you from now on. The man retorted angrily. Why should I take care of Cheen? He continued, pointing accusingly. You've married a rich man. Can't you even support your own daughter? The woman, not to be outdone, quickly replied, I brought Nguni into the Lam family. You're quite clever, aren't you? You want me to raise a child from your previous marriage as well. Outside the room, a strikingly beautiful young woman leaned against the wall, listening to the conversation. Two doctors passing by noticed her and whispered to each other, Look at that girl. She's so beautiful. She looks like a hot girl. While the girl enjoyed her lollipop, the argument inside the room continued unabated. Tanhan Thursday, my mother helped you raise your daughter for over 10 years. Now my mother is sick and can't take care of her anymore. If you don't, who will? So what? Didn't you fight for custody of Nguni in the beginning? Why do you want me to raise Cheen now? If that's the case, you should give Nguni back to me too. The girl, her head throbbing from the noise, pulled the lollipop from her mouth and muttered, so noisy. Memories from the past began to flash before her eyes. She remembered a day when, annoyed by her younger sister's unsuccessful piano practice, she snapped so loud. You've been practicing the same few notes all afternoon and still can't get it right. Let me play it for you once, and you'll understand. Seeing her older sister approach, the younger girl clutched her instrument and turned away. Don't touch my piano. What do you know? Hearing the commotion, their mother arrived, irritated. What's going on? Are you two fighting again? The older sister, head bowed, couldn't speak, unsure how to explain. Mom. Seeing their mother, the younger sister turned on the waterworks, whining, Mom, she says my playing is too loud and it's disturbing her game. That's why she wants to take my piano. Seeing her sister's blatant lie, the older sister stammered, I didn't. Without bothering to understand the situation, their mother immediately scolded. Cheen, if you have nothing better to do, go outside and play. Don't disturb Nguni's practice, do you understand? Cheen, her face a mixture of confusion and hurt, tried to explain, Mom, believe me, I didn't. Her mother cut her off. Don't make excuses. Get out. Cheen, her heart heavy with disappointment, thought to herself, forget it. Fine, I'll go outside. With that, she quickly fled the biased confines of her home. Outside, the rain poured relentlessly. Bei Dao reached out a solitary hand, catching the falling drops as she murmured to herself, it's raining so hard. Dad should be finishing work soon. He didn't take an umbrella today, I bet. With a sigh, she turned back towards the house to retrieve an umbrella, intending to meet her father. As she walked along the street, a commotion echoed from a nearby alleyway. A wallet this thick, and you try to tell me you're broke? Don't have any money, huh? Curiosity piqued. Bei Dao turned and peered down the narrow passage. Inside, a young man with bleached blonde hair was harassing someone. A frail-looking youth in a white shirt pleaded, That's my tuition money my mother gave me. You can't take it. The blonde-haired youth sneered. Tell me you lost it, then asked for more. I doubt your mother wants to see you come home black and blue. The blonde thug grabbed the collar of the white-shirted youth, who cowered in fear. Please, let me go. Don't hit me. Seeing the bully about to strike, Cheen shouted, Hey, you there. Stop it. Cheen's anger flared as she stepped in front of the terrified youth. He said it's his tuition money. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, trying to take it? You've got some nerve. Scowling, the blonde thug released the other boy and glared at Cheen. Little girl, didn't your mommy ever teach you to mind your own business? Cheen's eyes turned icy as she stared down the bully, a silent challenge in her gaze. Then, the only sound in the alleyway was the thud of fists and pained cries. After dealing with the situation, Cheen hurried home, eager to share her triumph with her father. Dad, you're home. I just beat up a high schooler who was bullying someone. Seeing her father's lack of reaction, she faltered. Dad, her father, holding a gift box, beamed at his other daughter. I heard our little Nguni won another prize. I braved the rain to get you a new toy. See if you like it. I love anything you get me, Daddy. Thank you. Their mother, noticing Chin Neem's arrival, pointed a finger and scolded. Chin Neem, where have you been gallivanting, looking like that? All you do is cause trouble. If you carry on like this, don't bother coming home. You're a constant source of aggravation, and so unladylike. Look at your sister, so well-behaved. Chin Neem remained silent, absorbing the tirade without a word. Turning to her husband, Tanhan Thursday continued her rant. Can't you control your daughter? You're always claiming to be busy with work, but you don't bring home much money, so you should at least manage the children. Ning Ting, are you looking for a fight? He retorted. Bei Dao watched, whispering to herself, please, Mom and Dad, don't fight. But the argument escalated, a torrent of harsh words washing over her, forcing her to cover her ears. If this is how it's going to be, let's just get a divorce. I'm tired of the constant arguing. Fine, divorce. But Ngani comes with me. And what makes you think you have any right to her? I want Ngani too. Bei Dao felt utterly superfluous in this family. It's so loud, she thought. Mom and Dad are always like this. Every fight ends with threats of divorce and a tug of war over Ngani. Am I really that unwanted? Do they only need Ngani? Despair washed over her. Then, a warm hand rested on her shoulder. She turned to see her grandmother standing beside her. Overwhelmed, Bei Dao burst into tears, burying her face in her grandmother's embrace. Grandma, she sobbed. Her grandmother stroked her hair soothingly. There, my sweet Bei Dao. It's all right now. Shall Grandma take you home? The little girl from back then had blossomed into a strikingly beautiful young woman. Chin Neem inwardly chuckled at the irony of her fate. This scene was far too familiar. Another argument, just like all the others. Only this time, Grandma wouldn't be able to take her home. She glanced toward the hospital room, eager to witness the unfolding drama. Ning Ching, if you truly intend to abandon Chin Neem, don't expect to live peacefully in the Lin family home. Tanhan Thursday, what exactly do you mean by that? Hearing this, Chin Neem understood. It seemed the battle was about to reach its climax. Her father, throwing caution to the wind, declared, regardless, I won't take Chin Neem back. He didn't want the matter to escalate and cause him to lose face. Her mother trembled with rage. Fine, consider yourself cruel. I'll take both Chin Neem and my mother. Are you satisfied now? She crushed the lollipop in her mouth, a dark smile twisting her lips. Victory was hers. Looks like I've caused more trouble for Mom. My dear, sweet mother. After the truce, Tanhan Thursday drove Chin Neem and her grandmother to the Lin family estate in Yuncheng. As soon as they arrived, a housekeeper rushed out to greet them. Madam, you're back. Ning Qing, still in the car, gave instructions. Aunt Zhang, this is my mother and my eldest daughter, Chin Neem. Please arrange rooms for them. I need to pick up Nguni from school. Chin Neem quickly got out of the car and helped her grandmother down. Watching the car depart, the housekeeper bowed respectfully. Drive safely, madam. Trailing behind them, she sized up Chin Neem and her grandmother with a disapproving look. Just as I thought, country bumpkins fresh off the farm. Gazing at the opulent villa before her, Chin Neem's grandmother gasped in admiration. This house is magnificent. The housekeeper led the way. Miss Chin Neem, madam, please follow me. Chin Neem replied politely, thank you, Aunt Zhang. Neither of them noticed the figures watching them from the upper floor. It was none other than the head of the Lin family, Lin Shi, and his eldest son, Lin Jinxian. Lin Shi observed them, commenting to his son, I hear this Chin Neem girl caused quite a stir at her old school. A notorious delinquent. She barely managed to get into #1 high school. Lin Jinxian, scrolling through his phone, asked, Chin Neem, is she another one of Aunt Ning's daughters? Come, let's go meet the old woman and this Chin Neem. Yes, father. Father and son descended to the lower floor. Lin Shi feigned a casual question to the housekeeper. Aunt Zhang, have our guests arrived? Aunt Zhang, momentarily confused, quickly caught on. Yes, sir. She thought to herself. He even calls his mother-in-law a guest? Quickly recovering, she introduced them. This is Mr. Lin Shi and young Master Lin Jinxian. Chin Neem's grandmother offered a strained smile. We're sorry to trouble you. Chin Neem's gaze remained fixed on the man, silently assessing him. So this is my mother's current husband. Lin Jinxian, in turn, observed Chin Neem. So she's the infamous Qin Nim? Lin Shi plastered on a saccharine smile. You must be tired from your journey. Please sit down and have some tea. He lifted his teacup, taking a sip before continuing. Ning Qing has told me about Xiaonya. Don't worry, I'll arrange for her schooling. We appreciate the offer, Mr. Lin, but the school. Qin Nim was cut short by Aunt Zhang's announcement. Madam, Miss Ngani, you're back. Aunt Zhang, once dinner is ready, please serve it. Ngani is hungry, Qin said, handing her school bag to the housekeeper. Have my sister and grandmother arrived? She then inquired. Yes, they're in the study having tea with the master and the young master. This young woman was Qin Nim's younger sister, Qin. My brother is back too? That's wonderful. Qin thought, calculating. Jin Xian rarely comes home. I must make a good impression today. Putting on an expression of delight, she ran towards Lin Jinxian, excitedly calling out, Brother, you're back. Lin Jinxian also stood up cheerfully. Ngani, you're home from school? Qin, feigning affection, rushed to hug him, taking his arm and asking in a coquettish voice, You're usually so busy. How do you have time to come home today? I just finished a project nearby. Lin Jinxian replied indulgently. Why is it so late, Ngani? I had to practice a new piece for the school's meeting ceremony. It was hard work, but I'm happy, she replied. Lin Shi, looking pleased, praised her. Ngani, your playing is getting better and better. If you need anything, just tell your father. Qin, playing the part of the obedient and understanding daughter, smiled brightly and replied, Yes, thank you, father. Only then did she pretend to notice Qin Nim's presence and called out, Oh, sister. Qin Nim, her face impassive, sat on the chair, arms crossed, observing her sister whom she hadn't seen in years. Qin put on a saccharine smile. It's so good to see you again. Welcome to the Lin family home. Then, in a pointed tone, she added, We should all get along well, just like we used to, sister. Hearing this, Qin Nim's face darkened. It's been a long time since I've seen Qin, she thought to herself. That night, Qin Nim tossed and turned, unable to sleep. I can't sleep again, she thought, and I keep remembering unpleasant things from the past. How irritating. Qin's words from those days echoed in her ears. Father, sister seems to hate me. Did I do something wrong? I'm going to go play outside. Sister doesn't like me around when she's playing games. Mother, I think I made sister angry again. Qin Nim sat up, clutching her head in frustration, muttering, We used to get along so well, huh? She glanced at the bottle of pills on her nightstand. I'm almost out of sleeping pills. I need to find some more. Early the next morning, as Qin Nim descended the stairs, she was met with Lin Shi's feigned apologetic expression. Xiao Nim, I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to get you into number 1 high school. I'll inquire about other schools today. Just wait at home. Ning Qing, looking disapprovingly at her eldest daughter, said, Ngani got into number 1 high school on her own merit. We didn't have to lift a finger for her. Hearing her name mentioned, Qin eagerly boasted, That's right. Number 1 high school is the best high school in Yinsheng. Not just anyone can get in. I worked really hard to get accepted. The principal of number 1 high school has extraordinary connections. Students who get in not only need good grades, but also... Tired of their chatter, Qin Nim interrupted, pulling an envelope from her bag. With a haughty air, she retorted, Actually, speaking of number 1 high school, I have a recommendation letter from the principal right here. Hearing this, Ning Qing, Qin Nim's mother, exploded. Enough! You're such a liar. You're not embarrassed, but I am. Qin, Nim's younger sister, feigned concern. Mother, don't be angry. What if the number 1 high school she's talking about isn't the same one I know? Ning Qing, still fuming, ignored the possibility of a misunderstanding and berated Qin Nim. If you're going to live with the Lin family, you need to fix your bad habits. Do you understand? Qin Nim glared at Qin, a simmering fury in her eyes. She gritted her teeth, thinking, after all these years, she's still playing these games. Refusing to engage, Qin Nim pulled her hood down and turned to leave. If there's nothing else, I'm going to school. Ning Qing's scorn dripped from her voice. And what school would you be going to? You're more likely to have a complaint letter than a recommendation. Going to school? I think you're more likely headed to an internet cafe. You're infuriating. Qin, ever the instigator, added fuel to the fire. Mother, please calm down. Sister didn't mean to lie. As Qin Nim passed Lin Jinxian, the letter in her hand caught his eye. Recognizing the seal on the letter, Lin Jinxian's jaw dropped in astonishment. Good heavens, that seal! He couldn't contain his surprise. That's the principal's personal seal. So she wasn't lying. His words stunned not only Lin Shi, the head of the family, but also Qin. What? It's real? That recommendation letter is actually real. At Honshu number 1 high school, a flurry of footsteps echoed through the halls. I heard the new doctor in the infirmary is super handsome. What are you waiting for? Let's go check him out. A crowd of girls jostled for a peek through the infirmary door. Wow, he's gorgeous. Even more handsome than my idol. Move over, let me see. He's behind the curtain. Don't push. Inside, a doctor addressed a student. Knock. Are you here to pick up medication or for an examination? The girl, blushing furiously, stammered. I want to pick up some medicine. Yes, some vitamin C. Thank you, doctor. Behind the curtain where they spoke, another doctor sat reviewing documents, his handsome features reminiscent of a cold and aloof CEO from a drama. Outside, the girls practically swooned. Those eyes, those lips, he's absolutely perfect. They giggled, their hearts aflutter. Their admiration continued. This mouth, these eyes, it's all so perfect. Each girl smiled, her heart pounding. Their ogling was interrupted by the school bell. Groans of disappointment rippled through the group. Darn it, time for class. Let's go. We'll come back during lunch break. One of the doctors leaned back in his chair, a look of relief on his face. Ah, finally some peace and quiet. The doctor, Lu Chiu-kan, turned to his friend and grumbled. I told you this was a bad idea, Twen. Why would a wealthy young master from the capital city come here to work as a school doctor? And then you dump all the work on me. I'm exhausted. Trin Twen, the other doctor, glanced at his complaining friend. If you're going to complain, I'll take over. Lu Chiu-kan, hearing this, immediately balked. Come on, Trin Twen, you're the skilled surgeon. Leave the rest to me. Besides, he added, lowering his voice, if those patients who paid a fortune to book your surgery saw you here giving free checkups to students, they'd be furious. As the two doctors chatted, a soft knock echoed from the infirmary door. Chin Neem, despite her simple attire, radiated an undeniable beauty. Excuse me, she said, her voice quiet. Do you sell calming medication here? Lu Chiu-kan's eyes widened at her appearance. Whoa, he thought, this student is gorgeous. Trin Twen's attention was also drawn to the young woman. Chin Neem waited patiently. Lu Chiu-kan, regaining his composure, scratched his head sheepishly. Calming medication is prescription only, he explained. You can't just buy it over the counter. He couldn't help but wonder if she was just there to admire the handsome doctors. Seeing she wasn't getting the response she wanted, Chin Neem pulled her hood lower, her voice cool. I was just asking. If you don't have any, it's fine. Before she could turn to leave, Trin Twen stood up. Wait a moment, he said. I'll get you something. Lu Chiu-kan looked at him, surprised. He leaned closer to Trin Twen, whispering, Old man, she's asking for calming meds. You can't just hand those out. Trin Twen, opening a medicine box, replied, Do you think I'd be so careless with medication? He approached Chin Neem and offered her a small packet. Here, this should help. Take these for 3 days, then come back and see me. Chin Neem watched as he carefully folded the packet and then, to her surprise, added a small bottle of eye drops. She paused, a flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. After a moment, she accepted the offerings, murmured a thank you, and with a swift turn, left the infirmary. Lu Chiu-kan, arms crossed, looked concerned. Are you sure about that? He asked. Trin Twen's gaze lingered on the spot where Chin Neem had stood. She needs it, he said quietly. Don't worry, it's not a sedative, just something to help her sleep. Meanwhile, in the principal's office at number 1 high school, a teacher's voice rose in challenge. Principal 2, you want to put a disruptive student like that in my 1 class? You have to remember, my class is for high-achieving students, not delinquents. The teacher, Lai Ai Dung, homeroom teacher of 12A1, tossed a file onto the desk. Just look at this record, she continued, her voice sharp. Fighting, skipping class, poor conduct reports, it's disgusting. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Teacher Chao Duong, homeroom teacher of 12A9, stood nearby, listening with growing disapproval. Ms. Lai, he interjected, we're teachers. We shouldn't be so selective about our students. Lai Ai Dung, her tone dripping with disdain, retorted, easy for you to say. It's not your precious A1 class on the line. Chao Duong bristled. If that student were mine, he declared, I would certainly take responsibility. Oh, how noble, Lai Ai Dung scoffed. No wonder you've been stuck teaching for over 25 years. Chao Duong, stung by her words, struggled to find a response. Principal 2, sensing the escalating tension, cleared his throat. So, Mr. Chao, he inquired, are you willing to accept this student? Chao Duong didn't hesitate. Of course, he replied firmly. Lai Ai Dung, with a triumphant smirk, pushed the file towards him. Wonderful, and it's all yours. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a test to administer. Once teacher Lai Ai Deng had moved a short distance away, Principal 2 addressed teacher Chao Duong. All right, teacher Chao, come take a look at this. Have a look at this student's Olympic math exam. What do you think? Hearing Principal 2's words, teacher Chao immediately picked up the exam and began to review it. But as he read, beads of sweat broke out on his forehead. Then, with a surge of excitement, he replied, "This exam is exceptionally well done. I doubt it's from a student at our school. If it were, I would have recognized them. What a pity." Hearing this, Principal 2 smiled inwardly, thinking, "A pity, you say? This student wasn't one of ours before, but they certainly will be now." Hith. Meanwhile, Chi Neem was walking down the hallway, looking at the eye drops in her hand with a sigh of relief. These eye drops are really effective. Just one application and the redness is already fading. At that moment, she felt a flicker of familiarity with Trin Twin, the school doctor. "I feel like I've met him somewhere before," she mused. It dawned on her that he was the doctor she had encountered at the hospital where her grandmother had been treated. Unbeknownst to her, he had taken note of her every move back then, especially the way she had snapped her lollipop stick and the almost palpable aura of intensity she radiated. He still remembered it vividly. Oh, he thought, it seems she's not quite the harmless little bunny rabbit I initially thought. After inquiring about her family information, he had impulsively rushed to Vanton. Even now, he couldn't quite believe his own actions. I was so rash, he thought, running off to Vanton like that. Still, there's something undeniably captivating about her. In class 12A9, teacher Chao Duong addressed his students. "Quiet down, everyone. I have an announcement. Today, we have a new student joining our class." A ripple of excited chatter spread through the classroom. A new student? It must be Qin Gu's older sister. She got placed in our class? Lin Chi must have pulled some strings. Tu Jiao Guang, a bespectacled student with a cool demeanor, responded to his friend's comment. "I don't know, and frankly, I'm not interested." His friend scoffed. "Wow, tough guy, huh? But it seems to me you're not interested in anyone except Qin Gu." Tu Jiao Guang flushed at the remark. Meanwhile, two boys in the back were also gossiping. "I heard Qin Gu's sister got into a fight in Ninhai Village and had to repeat a year. I don't understand how she got into our prestigious #1 high school. Ninhai Villa de. That's one of the province's key poverty-stricken villages. So, she's some kind of rural delinquent come to the city." The four boys then proceeded to conjure up an image of Qin Neem, overweight, covered in freckles. The thought of it made them want to gag. Tu Jiao Guang, tired of their idle chatter, stood up. "This is pointless. I'm leaving." "Where are you going?" one of them asked. "Qin Gu is practicing violin in the auditorium. I'm going to watch." As Tu Jiao Guang exited through the back door, Qin Neem entered the classroom. The moment she stepped inside, the room fell silent. Seeing this, she spoke up, introducing herself. "Hello, everyone. My name is Qin Neem. It's a pleasure to meet you." When no one responded, teacher Chao Duong smiled awkwardly and gestured towards an empty desk. "There's a seat next to Lin Jin Xian, Qin Neem. Why don't you sit there?" "Thank you, teacher," she replied, making her way to the desk. But as she walked, the entire class was captivated by her beauty. Whoa, she's absolutely gorgeous. Such an aura of elegance. Some of the boys' eyes filled with hearts, practically drooling at Qin Neem's dazzling appearance. Nobody fight me for her. This rebellious beauty has to be mine. Fat chance, buddy. Everyone appreciates beauty. Qin Neem had just sat down when the girl next to her spoke up, albeit hesitantly, having heard whispers of Qin Neem's reputation. "Ashilu, my name is Lin Tu Neen." Qin Neem replied cheerfully. "Hi there." Those who had been gossiping about her moments before were now stunned. She's so different from the country bumpkin they described. Tu Jiao Guang missed out on seeing this transfer student. "I think she's just as stunning as Qin Gu." "Exactly. We have to get to know her after school." "You know what I mean." The school day finally ended. As the bell rang, Lin Tu Neen, her eyes full of anticipation, turned to Qin Neem. "Would you like me to show you around the school? You're new here, so you're probably not familiar with everything yet." But Qin Neem quickly declined. "I'm so sorry, but I have to go home today." Lin Tu Neen sang. "Wow, I got rejected." But she's such a beauty, it's normal for her to be a little aloof. As she was wallowing in self-pity, Qin Neem turned back with a bright smile. "Tu Nien, Tang Ju. Next time, you have to show me around, okay?" Lin Tu Nien fai lit u. Okay. Qin Neem, hurry home. She thought, whoa, I was wrong. The great beauty isn't aloof at all. Her smile is so pretty. Watching Chi-Nim leave, two students standing behind them also got up. She's leaving. Let's follow her. Meanwhile, Chi-Nim was lost in thought. I'll have to see those people again when I get back to the Lin family home. What a bother. Just then, she heard voices behind her. Hey, new student, don't be in such a hurry. She glanced back and saw three classmates who had been following her without her noticing. One of them spoke suggestively. Hey there, cutie. You don't seem too happy. Need us to cheer you up? We've prepared a grand welcome party for you. You absolutely have to join us. Across the street, Lu Qiu-kin was scratching his head, looking at the directions on Google Maps. Is this Google Maps thing broken? How am I supposed to find this restaurant old man Tu told me about? As he was searching, he spotted Chi-Nim. Whoa, isn't that the girl who came to me for calming medication this morning? Trin Twen, who had just arrived, also looked over and observed. It looks like she's in a bit of trouble. You should go help her. Lu Qiu-kin immediately rolled up his sleeves, eager to volunteer. Are you really going to give me the chance to be a hero and save a damsel in distress? Go ahead, Ken. Let's see how cool you look in action. Seeing his friend's over-the-top reaction, Trin Twen was speechless. Meanwhile, the student, oblivious to the impending interruption, approached Chi-Nim. Don't blame me. It's all your fault for being so beautiful. I just couldn't resist approaching you on the street. Just as the thug's hand reached for Chi-Nim's face, she reacted with lightning speed, seizing his wrist in a vice-like grip. A chilling smile played on her lips, her eyes glinting with a dangerous light. I suppose this counts as you making the first move, she purred, her voice laced with a deadly calm. The group of thugs, their faces still contorted in expressions of stunned confusion, hadn't yet processed her words when a sickening crack echoed through the air. Chi-Nim had twisted the thug's arm backwards with brutal efficiency. He howled in agony, sweat beading on his forehead. Damn it, that hurts. What are you guys waiting for? Get her, he shrieked. Chi-Nim moved with a fluid grace that belied her strength. A swift knee to the gut sent the first thug reeling, gasping for air. Boss, we're here to help, another yelled, lunging at her with a wild punch. Chi-Nim intercepted the blow effortlessly, catching his fist mid-swing. You little bitch, you dare hit my brothers? You want to die, huh? The thugs continued their taunts, oblivious to the danger they were in. Chi-Nim responded with a flurry of punches and kicks, her movements precise and devastating. In less than a minute, the entire group lay groaning on the ground, defeated. Chi-Nim nonchalantly bent down to retrieve her backpack, an aura of cool indifference radiating from her. She looked every bit the untouchable queen of the schoolyard. As she turned to leave, she sensed a pair of eyes watching her. She glanced over to see who it was, her gaze locking with Lu Qiu-kin, whose eyes were wide with disbelief. He stammered, unable to form a coherent sentence. Trin Twen, I'm not seeing things, am I? She took down 3 guys in under a minute. Is she even human? A hint of amusement flickered across Trin Twen's face. She's even more interesting than I imagined, he murmured. As Chi-Nim walked past them, she paused and offered a quiet thank you. Lu Qiu-kin, clearly disgruntled, whined, Hey, I was the one who was going to help her. Why did she thank you? Jing Duan Juke. Come on, let's go. Tu Lao is waiting for us. Lu Qiu-kin's gaze lingered on the defeated thugs. Those guys, they look like students from number 1 high school. An icy aura emanated from Trin Twen as he spoke, his voice dripping with disdain. Trash like that doesn't deserve to be at number 1 high school. Take care of them. Finally, Trin Twen and Lu Qiu-kin arrived at the address Principal Tu had given them. The 3 sat together, engaged in lively conversation. Trin Twen took a slow sip of his tea before addressing Principal Tuesday. Tu Lao, you've been the principal of number 1 high school in Vanton for 3 years and haven't returned to the capital. Why the sudden decision to resign and go back? Principal Tu responded with a contented smile. I finally found a successor. It wasn't easy finding the right person. Lu Qiu-kin, surprised, jumped to his feet and peppered Principal Tu with questions. Who is it? Tell us. Principal Tu simply shook his head with a wry smile. But they don't want to take over. The image of Chi-Nim's imposing presence flashed through his mind. She was the one he desperately hoped would succeed him. He continued, a hint of certainty in his voice. However, I believe they will eventually agree. That's why I need to return to the capital to prepare. Lu Chiu can, baffled that someone would refuse such a prestigious position, turned to his friend, brimming with curiosity. Twin, someone actually refused to be the heir of the Tu family? Who could this person be? Twin, say something. Aren't you curious? Despite Lu Chiu Can's incessant chatter, Trin Twin remained silent, calmly savoring his tea. At the music building of number 1 high school in Van Ton, Chi Nim, after wandering around the campus, found herself drawn to the building. She gently pushed open the door and stepped inside, her eyes falling upon a violin resting on a table. A sudden inspiration seized her, and she picked it up, her gaze softening as if she were looking at a dear friend. Then, slowly, she lost herself in the music, savoring the melody she created. Meanwhile, at her desk, her classmate was telling Tu Jia Kwong about Chi Nim. Tu, you haven't seen the transfer student yet? Such a pity for you, Tuesday. She's really beautiful, you know? Tu Jia Kwong, in a hurry, cut her off. Enough already. Let's go, hurry up. I need to get this milk tea to Tanga. Suddenly, the melodious strains of a violin drifted from Chi Nim's room, stopping him in his tracks. The music hung in the air, and a thought seemed to strike Tu Jia Kwong. He turned and ran towards the source of the sound. His friend, left behind, stared after him, bewildered. Tu, where are you going in such a rush? The person playing isn't going to run away. The young man shook his head and sighed, a look of exasperation on his face. His violin obsession is acting up again. It's only because Tangu also plays the violin. Otherwise, she wouldn't be worthy of our Tuesday. Tu Jia Kwong ran with incredible speed towards the music room, analyzing the situation as he went. This is a piece I've never heard before. The seamless transitions, the masterful technique. I've only ever heard such skill at concerts given by the masters in the Imperial City. Inside the room, Chi Nim remained immersed in the music's emotional depths. More important than technique is the raw emotion that strikes directly at the soul. This melody, it almost consumes me. This melody isn't just lonely. It's interwoven with a fierce passion. Could there really be such a contradictory person in the world? When Tu Jia Kwong threw open the door, the music abruptly stopped and the room fell silent. But all he found was an empty, deserted space. His friend, finally catching up, arrived breathless. Tu, where is she? Did she really run away? She didn't jump from a second floor, did she? Tu Jia Kwong, his face a mixture of disappointment and regret, said, "Let's go." "It's no use," he muttered to himself. Could there be someone else in this school besides Tangu who can play the violin like that? Chi Nim, having jumped from the window, landed softly on the ground below. That was close. I almost got caught. She stood up and stretched, feeling invigorated. Wonderful. Playing for a bit really lifted my spirits. I'll have to find more opportunities to play and keep my mood balanced. But why do I feel like I've forgotten something? Oh well, it doesn't matter. Just as she sat down at her desk, her classmate turned to her with bright eyes. Chi Nim, the math homework that the teacher assigned yesterday is due today. Have you finished it? Chi Nim suddenly realized what she had forgotten. I did say I forgot something, didn't I? So was this. She flashed a charming smile and asked, "Is it all right if I don't turn it in?" Lin Tunin looked troubled, unsure how to respond. Not wanting to make Lin Tunin uncomfortable, Chi Nim quickly pulled out the assignment and began to solve it. Lin Tunin glanced over, thinking to herself, so she's left-handed? Very quickly, Chi Nim handed the completed work to Lin Tunin. Here you go. My grades aren't very good, and I'm not confident in my work, so please bear with me. Lin Tunin, bewildered, could only manage a single word. Okay. Lin Tunin smiled brightly and pointed to herself. I'm the class representative for academics. If you have any trouble, you can come to me. Chi Nim's gaze lingered on the embroidery on Lin Tunin's shirt, making her blush. This pattern, do you like Yentich? Seeing a kindred spirit, Lin Tunin's eyes lit up. Oh my gosh, are you a Yentich fan too? Have you heard the new album? Have you voted on the charts? Do you need me to teach you how to register a dummy account so you can vote again? Chi Nim, faced with this sudden burst of enthusiasm, was stunned. Being from a more isolated background, she wasn't into idol worship. She stammered, beads of sweat forming on her brow. I'm not. But Lin Tunin, undeterred, continued with the fervor of a wildfire sweeping across a plateau. Don't worry, Nim, I'll definitely help you improve your grades. After school, I'll take you to buy some workbooks. Hearing her childhood nickname, Nim, a wave of nostalgia washed over Chi Nim. Apart from her grandparents, no one had called her that in a long time. Oh, Nim, what's wrong? So when school ended, Lin Tunin dragged Chinim along, chattering all the while. You'd better not provoke Chingu from class 12A. He's from the Lin family, and Tuche protects him. Oh, by the way, you both have the same surname, Chin, right? That's right, Neem. There's a vocational school nearby that has. Lin Tunin's eyes glazed over, filled with the image of someone. She paused, then finished her sentence. A Trung Truong rival school. Before them, a young man on a motorcycle sped by, looking incredibly cool. Chingu, happening to pass by, smirked at the scene. Wei Ziheng, what's he doing here? He's the school bully of the vocational school. Looks like my dear sister is in trouble. The chauffeur feigned concern, asking Chingu, Miss, your sister seems to be here. Shouldn't we wait for her to come home with us? Chingu's smile was laced with malice. Just drive. Don't ask questions you shouldn't. She thought to herself. Luckily, she still likes to cause trouble like when she was little. I was just racking my brains for a reason to kick her out of the Lin family. A few passing students stopped to gossip. How did the transfer student manage to offend the vocational school's bully on her first day? It'd be a shame if that pretty face got beaten up. Shush. If they hear you, they might beat us up too. Let's get out of here. Lin Tunin, standing behind Chinim, was apprehensive and scared, on the verge of tears. Lin Tunin hit behin kinyam, sobing. Wah, don't come any closer. We really don't have any money. Please don't hit us. A kind classmate behind them waved and called out, Class rep, take the new student over here and let Wei Ziheng pass. Lin Tunin turned and, recognizing her classmates, cried out in relief, Xiao Qing, Duzi, it's you two. She tugged on Chinim's arm. Neem, I'll explain later. Let's go over to Xiao Qing and Tuzi first. Seeing Lin Tunin trying to pull Chinim away, the aloof young man finally spoke. Hold on. Wei Ziheng slowly walked towards the two girls. Their eyes met. Chinim, without a trace of fear, stared directly at the young man. As his hand reached out towards her face, she said coldly, Get your damn paws off me. Her words hung in the air, silencing the scene. Lin Tunin froze, barely daring to breathe, before collapsing in a dead faint, white foam bubbling at the corner of her mouth. Chinim caught Lin Tunin, a chuckle escaping her lips. Then, her gaze shifted to Wei Ziheng. Are you deaf? Tell your goons to clear out. You've terrified my classmate. Wei Ziheng's hand, reaching for Chinim's hair, froze midair. A wide grin spread across his face as he retracted his hand. Sister Neem, you're still the same as ever. He kicked at his underlings, shooing them away. Scram, get over there and don't block Sister Neem's way. Why are you making such fierce faces at Lin Tunin? Suddenly docile as a puppy, he turned back to Chinim, trying to ingratiate himself. Why didn't you tell me you were coming to Vanton? Chinim responded indifferently, spur-of-the-moment decision. Just transferred yesterday. The surrounding onlookers, however, were frozen in place, utterly bewildered by the turn of events. One of the onlookers brought a trembling hand to her mouth, her thoughts racing. Neem seems to be close to the school's boss. I was so scared just now. My legs are still jelly. Chinim thumped Wei Ziheng in the chest. Find someone trustworthy to take my classmate home. She's too shaken up to walk. Wei Ziheng immediately barked orders at his lackeys. What are you standing around for? Get her home safe, or I'll beat you senseless. Watching Chinim walk away, one of the goons, curiosity overcoming his fear, nervously asked Wei Ziheng, Boss, who is she? Wei Ziheng, gazing after Chinim with a mixture of awe and pride, replied, Sister Neem? She's the boss of Ninhai Village, and my ancestor. He then scurried after her. Where are you going? Wait for me. Chinim's reply was short and to the point. Buying books. Wei Ziheng's underlings approached Lin Tunin, attempting to be helpful. Do you want to go back to school? Or grab a bite to eat? Lin Tunin, utterly confused, could only think, what the heck? Who is this new hot girl that even the vocational school's boss is bowing down to? Tu Jia Kwong also watched on, his eyes wide with fear. Meanwhile, at the Lam family home, during dinner, Chingu launched into her usual performance. What's on your mind, Nuni? She asked, feigning concern. I think I saw your sister with some people from the vocational school after school today. Nin Tin's grip on her chopsticks tightened. What? The vocational school? Isn't she supposed to be at #1 high school? Chin-gu continued her act, putting on a pitiful, understanding face. I heard she got into a fight with some people from the vocational school at noon. I guess that's why they came looking for her tonight. I'm a little worried about her, Mom. Nin-tin slammed her chopsticks down in anger. Worried? What's there to worry about? Your sister and that vocational school trash are birds of a feather. Why did I have to give birth to such a disgraceful daughter? Just then, the sound of the door opening interrupted them. Chin Neem, holding a bag of books and notebooks, walked in with an air of arrogance. I just came back to grab some things. I'll be leaving soon. Without waiting for a reply, she headed upstairs, leaving Nin-tin to suppress her fury and rise from the table. Nuni, finish your dinner. I'll go check on her. The moment she stepped into the room, Nin-tin launched into a tirade. Who are you putting on that gloomy face for? I decorated this beautiful room for you, bought you so many clothes and bags, and you're still not satisfied? Chin-gu told me you were fighting with someone from the vocational school. Is that true? Chin-neem seethed inwardly. After all these years, Chin-gu still enjoys playing these games. How utterly pathetic. She brushed past her mother. With a sardonic edge, she offered, "Congratulations, Mother. You won't be seeing my face for a very long time. I'll be staying at school. When I have time off, I'll visit Grandma at the hospital." She paused halfway down the hall, turning slightly to add, "And by the way, I've never liked pink. Only Chin-gu likes pink." Ninton didn't try to stop her. She propped her chin on her hand, lost in thought. She'd rather stay in a dorm at school than in a villa. I bought her designer clothes and bags, and she doesn't even want them. I've never seen such a troublesome child. Fine, out of sight, out of mind. The next day, during her free time, Chi-neem went to the largest bank in Vanton. The teller greeted her with a practiced smile. "How can I help you today?" Despite the pleasant facade, the teller thought dismissively, "She looks like a poor student. Not worth my time." "Open an account," Chi-neem stated simply, just as the teller was inwardly sighing. Chi-neem slid a card across the counter. "I'd like to transfer some funds." The teller's eyes widened as she examined the card, her jaw dropping in astonishment. "Holy moly, it's a black diamond card." Chi-neem was promptly escorted to a VIP room. The teller's demeanor transformed completely. Bowing deeply, she apologized. "I'm so sorry. Mississippi regular staff aren't authorized to handle black diamond card transactions. Please wait a moment. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience." Chi-neem waited barely 3 minutes before the transaction was completed. The branch manager personally presented the card back to her, holding it with both hands. "The funds have been transferred to Vanton #1 High School for your dormitory fees. Please accept your card back. Thank you." As Chi-neem left, the teller whispered to her manager, "She's so young, but she has a black diamond card. Incredible." The manager murmured back, "That's the first time I've seen one in person. I hear only a handful of people have them. It's astonishing that someone so young already possesses one." Leaving the bank, Chi-neem hurried back to school. Checking a notification on her phone, she muttered, "Which idiot offered such a large sum to assign me this mission? I said I wouldn't take it, and they're still pestering me. Seriously?" She stopped outside the school infirmary, a wary look in her eyes. "The client's location is the school infirmary? Interesting. I didn't accept the mission, but I might as well take a look." With that thought, she pushed open the door. 6 startled faces looked up as she entered. Feigning shyness, she coughed lightly, covering her mouth with her hand. "Excuse me, are you hiring any part-time help?" 6 Jing Zhao, his face blank with confusion, couldn't understand what Chi-neem was asking. "You came to the school infirmary this late for this?" he echoed. Chi-neem, beads of sweat dotting her brow despite her feigned composure, replied, "I need money." Inwardly, however, she was thinking, "I wonder if this excuse will work." 6 Jing Zhao, after observing Chi-neem, made his own assessment. Her bag looks pretty worn. She probably really does need money. But Twinga never likes to be bothered, especially by girls. Thinking this, he scratched his head awkwardly. "I'm sorry," he said, thinking there have been too many girls coming to the infirmary today. Twingu is just pretending to sleep. He probably doesn't want to deal with any more girls. But contrary to 6 Jing Zhao's expectations, Zheng Twin suddenly opened his eyes and asked Chi-neem a most unexpected question. "Can you cook?" His question left both of them stunned. Looking at his undeniably handsome features, Chi-neem thought to herself, no wonder so many girls come to the infirmary every day. Meeting Zheng Twin's gaze, she replied succinctly, "Of course." Zheng Twin, his face still sleepy, pinched the bridge of his nose and said calmly, "Lunch and dinner. Daily pay. Can you start tomorrow?" Qi Nim replied with a simple yes and turned to leave. Behind her, Six Jing Zhao stared at Zheng Twin with utter bewilderment. Zheng Twin settled back down, preparing to resume his nap. Six Jing Zhao rushed over anxiously. "Twin Ge, you haven't forgotten that the Zheng family housekeeper is coming tomorrow, have you?" "Of course I haven't," Zheng Twin replied nonchalantly. "Tell him to come straight to the villa." Six Jing Zhao nearly stumbled. Strange. Doesn't he usually hate having strangers around? The next day, as soon as Qi Nim arrived at class, Lin Tunin turned to her and asked, Nim, you're back?" "Yeah," Qi Nim replied. Lin Tunin continued writing, but her eyes kept darting back to Qi Nim. Noticing this, Qi Nim asked directly, "Why do you keep looking at me? Is there something on my face?" Flustered, Lin Tunin stammered, No, nothing." Then, unable to contain her curiosity any longer, she mustered her courage and asked tentatively, Nim, I wanted to ask, why did that school boss listen to you yesterday?" Seeing Lin Tunin's adorable, rabbit-like expression, Qi Nim chuckled. "Because," she replied, "I used to be really famous." As the two girls were laughing together, Tu Jia Kwang's voice rang out from behind them, reminding the class, "It's almost time. Everyone, get your physics assignments ready." Lin Tunin immediately panicked, scrambling to get her work done, her face a picture of distress. "The physics teacher is a demon. You can't not do his assignments." Nim, take my notebook," she offered. Xiao Qing, also surreptitiously trying to finish before the teacher arrived, leaned over and whispered to Tu Jia Kwang, "Have you figured out the last question yet?" "Not yet," he replied. Xiao Qing, clearly disbelieving him, gave him a sly look and whispered in his ear, "You really don't know? I don't believe you. You're always first or second in physics in the whole grade. Saying you don't know is just lying." Tu Jia Kwang blushed and lightly punched Xiao Qing on the cheek. "Stop talking so much. I'm saving this question to discuss with Qin Ge." Xiao Qing continued to tease him. "I knew it. Our physics representative could never be stumped by a question." Qi Nim, glancing at the physics problems, which seemed ridiculously easy to her, felt a wave of boredom. "Physics is so tedious. Maybe I should just choose a for every answer. That way, I can at least get them all wrong." Tu Jia Kwang strolled over to Qi Nim's desk, assuming she was copying Lin Tunin's work. He sneered, "Copying is worse than not doing it at all. Your handwriting is already bad, and now you're copying from your deskmate? You're a world away from Qin Ge." Qi Nim gave a cold laugh and handed her paper to Tu Jia Kwang, leaving him stunned. Then, with a huff, she turned away. If it weren't for Lin Tunin's sake, I wouldn't even bother." Tu Jia Kwang took the paper and examined it, his face paling. Pretty face, but what a shame she doesn't know right from wrong. Wasting Lin Tunin's kindness. Meanwhile, Xiao Qing was struck by a thunderbolt of infatuation, gazing at Qi Nim with unwavering fascination. "The new hot girl's waist and legs are amazing. I really want to talk to her." Lost in a fantasy, Xiao Qing pictured himself, a swaggering tiger, with Wei Zihang kneeling at his feet. The image filled him with glee. If she could teach me how to tame Wei Zihang, becoming sworn brothers wouldn't be out of the question. Tu Jia Kwang walked to the principal's office and knocked politely. A calm voice responded, "Come in." Tu Jia Kwang pushed the door open and entered respectfully. "Yes, grandfather." The two sat down, and Principal Tu feigned a cough before inquiring, "What do you think of our new student, Qi Nim?" "Tu Jia Kwang was Supi Seo. Why are you suddenly bringing up the transfer student, grandfather?" Sensing his grandson's skepticism, Principal Tu got straight to the point. "This child has a pitiful background. She also saved my life once, so I'm quite fond of her. I see you two are around the same age. What would you think about me arranging an engagement between the two of you?" Principal Tu felt a flicker of worry. In this generation of the Tu family, only Jia Kwang showed any real promise. He wasn't sure if Qi Nim's grandmother would approve of him. Thinking of Qi Nim's intimidating, rebellious demeanor, Tu Jia Kwang felt a surge of resentment, but even stronger was his astonishment at his grandfather's suggestion. "Engagement? No way, grandfather. You said Qi Nim saved you? How is that even possible? Your standards are so high. Even if she saved you, how could you possibly approve of someone so uncultured and prone to fighting?" Tu Jia Kwang, consumed by his prejudice, blamed everything on Qi Nim. "I bet she's the one who proposed it, trying to climb the social ladder, by marrying into the Tu family. Principal Tu looked at his grandson and began to explain. When I went to Ninhai village for poverty relief work, I ran into some trouble. It was this young lady who helped me resolve everything. Tu Jia Kwong, his mind filled with images of Chingu, vehemently rejected the idea of the engagement. Grandfather, even if Chin Neem saved you, the Tu family can compensate her in other ways. Even if you want to arrange an engagement, there are plenty of more suitable candidates in the Chin family. Chin Gu from class 12A is her younger sister. She's an excellent student, especially in physics. She's also beautiful and plays the violin wonderfully, grandfather. Principal Tu listened to his grandson, utterly bewildered. Beautiful, plays the violin wonderfully, wasn't that Chin Neem? Seeing his grandson's disapproval, Principal Tu didn't press the matter. He adjusted his glasses and said, "It's all right. I wasn't thinking clearly. You can go back to class now. Think about what I said when you get back." As Tu Jia Kwong was about to leave, Principal Tu remembered something and asked, "Oh, right. I forgot to ask earlier. I heard you had a conflict with a student named Wei Zihang. Is that true? He's not a student at number 1 high school, but at the vocational school. He's always causing trouble. Before this, he even snuck into our school to watch the cultural performance. After watching, he said Chin Neem's violin playing was terrible. He claimed he'd heard violin playing 10,000 times better, so I couldn't help but argue with him." Principal Tu, having heard the whole story, understood the situation. He smiled and waved his hand at his grandson. "Oh, is that so? It's good that there's no major conflict. You can go back to class now." Watching his grandson's retreating figure, Principal Tu mused, "The two of you are about to become classmates." But he wasn't lying to you. There really is someone whose violin playing is 10,000 times better than Chin Neem's. The next day, Zhang Twin arrived as promised to pick up Chin Neem. As she sat in the car, he gave her instructions. "Let me show you the route first. From now on, you'll come to the restaurant every day to pick up the ingredients. Oh, and later, when we get back, make me some late-night snacks so I can see if they're okay." Chin Neem gave him a mischievous smile. "What if it doesn't suit your taste? If you regret it and fire me, that would be a breach of contract." Zhang Twin glanced at her with an amused look, then replied meaningfully, "Then you'd better do your best to impress me." Ning Qing, looking elegant in a dark evening gown, stepped out of her car, lost in thought. Today, the youngest daughter of the Lin family is rarely returning from Dedu. Lin Shi made a reservation at this private restaurant half a month ago. I can't let him lose face. While Chin Neem was waiting for the grocery delivery, she stepped outside for some fresh air and was coincidentally seen by her mother. "Chin Neem, what is she doing here? Shouldn't she be in her school dormitory at this hour?" Ning Qing, as if afraid of being seen, looked left and right. Lin Wan already looked down on her for being poor. She absolutely couldn't let her see this wretched girl. Seeing no one around, Ning Qing snapped, "Chin Neem, why are you here?" Chin Neem didn't even turn around, replying indifferently, "I have something to do." Infuriated by her daughter's disrespectful attitude, she continued to scold, "Go back to school. Stop hanging around with riffraff." Zhang Twin, although on the phone in his car, heard the commotion and glanced out the window. The delivery person arrived with the groceries at that moment. He looked at Chin Neem with a gentle expression and said, "Chin Neem, let's go." Chin Neem quickly got into the car, and Zhang Twin promptly drove off, leaving a fuming Ning Qing who yelled after them, "Nooni will be arriving in Dedu soon. If you dare to delay her important matters, don't blame me for being unkind." "Oomph, you little wretch. You've gotten quite bold. Defy me like this." Suddenly, she recalled Zhang Twin's appearance. That man's looks and demeanor weren't bad. Could that shrimp Chin Neem actually know someone like that? But she quickly changed her mind. But his car was very ordinary, not like someone particularly wealthy. Suddenly, a car stopped beside her, making her jump. Recognizing it, she realized, "Oh dear, this seems to be Lin Wan's car." From the car, a radiant young woman in an elegant and luxurious Cheongsam stepped out. "Sister, what are you doing here?" Ning Qing thought to herself. Observing Lin Wan's attire and expensive car, she doesn't seem like much. Just the sound system in her car is probably enough to buy 10 of mine. He laughed and tried to change the subject. "Are you playing a game?" "What game is it?" He looked like someone completely unfamiliar with video games, so she responded indifferently. "You wouldn't know it even if I told you, so why bother asking?" "Oh really?" he said, a touch of nostalgia in his voice. It really has been years since I've played games. After their meal at the restaurant, Lin Wan followed Lin Chi home to rest. Lin Chi smiled and asked his sister, "You've been in Dedu for a while now. How was the food? Did it suit your taste?" Lin Wan smiled back. "The restaurant you chose is comparable to those in Dedu. I enjoyed it very much, and the piece you played just now was beautiful. Go on upstairs and continue practicing," Lin Chi said to Qin Yu, who smiled ingratiatingly. "Thank you, Andy. After you've rested, I'll come and chat with you." Ning King takchuli etkuset herses. "I'll go upstairs and unpack my things. You two can chat." Once they were alone, Lin Wan's smile faded. "I heard Ning Qing brought back another illegitimate child. I heard their character isn't very good. She wants you to help smooth things over." Lin Chi's voice was low. "That girl's name is Qin Nim. She seems to have some talent. She got herself into #1 high school and isn't staying at home. I doubt she's as bad as you say." Lin Wan scoffed, convinced that no child of her sister-in-law could be good. "Brother, a dog that bites doesn't bark. Don't let that girl's pretense of innocence fool you. In this house, I only acknowledge Uni as my niece." Lin Chi chuckled, pleased when Qin Yu was mentioned. "Uni has certainly brought honor to the Lin family these past few years. No wonder you're fond of her. By the way, Grandmaster Wei has been looking for a disciple. I'm planning to take Uni to Dedu to meet him soon." Lin Chi's eyes lit up at the mention of the name. "Is that the world-renowned performer, Grandmaster Wei Lin? If Uni is fortunate enough to become his disciple, our Lin family's prestige will reach new heights." Upstairs, Ning Qing was fussing over her beloved daughter. "Uni, after you're done practicing, get some rest. Take care of your health." "Yes, mother, I know." Suddenly, while unpacking, Ning Qing dropped a crumpled piece of paper. Qin Yu saw it and reached down to pick it up. But after seeing what was written on it, her eyes widened in disbelief. "This is sheet music?" Seeing Qin Yu still up and about, Ning Qing turned and asked, "Why aren't you asleep yet?" Qin Yu hid the paper behind her back, making an excuse. "It's nothing, mother. I just came out to tell you to be careful on your trip." Her hand, clutching the sheet music behind her back, tightened its grip. Back in her room, she closed the door and carefully examined the paper. "This is definitely original sheet music, and the skill level is much higher than mine. If I could master this, wouldn't that be amazing?" Qin Yu was incredibly curious about the sheet music's origins. "Whose music is this? The handwriting doesn't look like Qin Nim's. Besides, she doesn't even play the violin." Then, Qin Yu made a decision. "As long as I keep this sheet music hidden, it will be our little secret. Starting tomorrow, I just need to practice this piece." Suiting action to word, she quickly retrieved the key to her safe and hid the newly found sheet music inside. The scene shifted to Qin Nim, who was busy in the kitchen. She hadn't realized how much work cooking actually was. Six Zhao Jing, having not eaten for a while, cheered with delight. "Wow, these dishes look amazing. They have a real home-cooked feel." Zheng Twin, sitting beside him, scowled, practically wanting to kick his friend out. Even while eating, you can't shut up. Meanwhile, Qin Nim, her hair a mess, was horrified, realizing that the noisy voice in her dream last night was Six Zhaojing's. She couldn't believe Zheng Twin could tolerate him. Hearing a notification chime from her phone, Qin Nim quickly checked the message. The moment she saw the content, she was furious. "That idiot, he's actually quintupling the offer to get me to take the job. I said I wouldn't take it, so why is he being so persistent?" She quickly typed a refusal and sent it. Qin Nim sighed, carrying 2 more dishes to the table. "Forget it. I need to get them fed quickly. I still have to meet Ning Qing later. What a hassle." As she set the food down, she heard Six Zhaojing say, "Twin." She refused again. Zheng Twin, eating, replied coldly. "Even 5 times the price wasn't enough? Then let's go big 50 times. Six Zhaojing paused. Hello. Why does that sound familiar?" Noticing Qin Nim standing without eating, Zheng Twin looked up and asked, "Why aren't you eating?" Qin Nim simply replied, "I'll eat out later." Zheng Twin, now finished, set down his chopsticks. "Where are you going?" "I'll take you." Qin Nim didn't refuse. The Ngu Hotel. Zheng Twin immediately stood up. Before leaving, he didn't forget to tell his best friend, "Remember to clean up the dishes after you're done." The other young man, still engrossed in his food, mumbled, "Twin, you're done already? Don't go." He sat there puzzled. Since when did Twin become the helpful type? The car quickly stopped at the Nga Hotel. Qin Nim opened the door and before getting out said, "Thanks." "You're welcome. No need to be so formal," Zheng Twin replied. As Qin Nim stood, her phone slipped from her pocket and onto the car seat. Hearing it ring, Zheng Twin picked it up. He was surprised to see the caller caller ID was blocked. Lately, with the commission tasks, the contact numbers were always like this. Hearing the familiar ringtone, Chi-Neem realized she'd dropped her phone. She let out a small, huh, and turned back towards the car. Zheng, twin, handed her the phone. You have a call. Chi-Neem replied indifferently. Don't worry about it. It's just a telemarketer. Watching her walk away, Zheng, twin, was suspicious. Could it really just be a coincidence? Annoyed by the call, Chi-Neem put in her earbuds and answered. The voice on the other end spoke quickly. That job, the price is now 50 times higher. Are you sure you won't take it? Finding the offer tempting, she gritted her teeth and agreed. Fine, send me the idiot's information. Information quickly arrived in her inbox. As she looked at it, fury ignited within her. All right, I knew it was him. Her face darkened, and a powerful aura of killing intent radiated from her. Then, with a cold laugh, she replied, Fine, I'll take this job. Inside the Ngu Hotel, Ningqing and her relatives were gathered for a family reunion. The aunt in the purple dress, sitting next to Ningqing, showered her with compliments. Oh my, you really did marry well. Your husband not only provides you with a comfortable life, but he's also raised such a wonderful daughter like Qingyu. Ningqing, basking in the praise, beamed. Of course, Yuni has always been such a joy, never causing me any worry. Now, she's in the advanced class of the #1 specialized school, plays the violin, and has even been on television. Seeing that Chi-Neem hadn't arrived as scheduled, Qingyu turned and whispered to her mother, Why isn't Chi-Neem here yet? I specifically told her to come for dinner tonight. Despite her innocent expression, Qingyu was a wolf in sheep's clothing. She smirked inwardly. Of course, I told her the wrong time an hour later. He. Ningqing, oblivious, frowned slightly. It's all right. It doesn't concern you. Just then, Chi-Neem pushed open the door. She was immediately met with a chorus of flattery. Yuni, you're growing more beautiful by the day. Do you remember your old aunt? Chi-Neem rolled her eyes at their false pleasantries. Clearly, they were all here for Ningqing and Qingyu. Qingyu, though, thinking, who would remember an old woman like you? You're just here to flatter us because we're doing well, maintained a sweet and amiable facade. Of course I remember. You've always been so kind to me, Auntie, so I remember you well. As Chi-Neem entered, she noticed her younger aunt and cousin standing off to the side. Puzzled, she asked, Annie, why are you standing? Why aren't you sitting? Her aunt explained awkwardly. All the seats are taken, Neem. It's all right, I don't mind standing. Then, gesturing towards Chi-Neem, she introduced her to her daughter, Mak Dan. This is your cousin, Neem. Mots dank mumblet agritu, velo, cousin. Chi-Neem's gaze was icy, making her aunt stand while Ningqing sat. Only Ningqing was capable of such a thing. Her eyes fell upon a violin resting on a nearby chair. She strode towards it. Before her hand could touch the instrument, a sharp voice rang out. That violin is worth several billion. Don't touch it. 3 servants pointed at Chi-Neem, their voices raised. The young mistress specifically instructed me to keep this violin safe, so you can't touch it. The aunts, hearing the violin was worth several billion, gasped in astonishment. Several billion? That's enough to buy 2 houses in our town. My goodness, is this violin really worth that much? Ningqing and Qingyu, preening under the envious gazes, responded smugly. Her younger aunt whispered to Chi-Neem, Neem, it's all right. You don't need a chair. Chi-Neem tilted her head back and let out a cold laugh. Turning to Ningqing, she said, several billion? That's a lot of money. Then, without hesitation, she picked up Qingyu's violin. Ningqing, seeing this, jumped to her feet. Chi-Neem, what are you doing? Before Ningqing could finish her tirade, a loud crack echoed through the room. To everyone's astonishment, Chi-Neem had smashed the violin against the floor. An intimidating aura radiated from her. Dusting off her hands, she said coldly, What does it look like I'm doing? Chi-Neem pushed the chair towards her aunt. There's a seat now. Auntie, please sit down. Her aunt, her face etched with worry, stammered, Neem, but that violin. How could you touch the young mistress's violin? Seeing the housekeeper's furious expression, Chi-Neem coldly dropped her words. A violin? What's the big deal about a violin? If it's broken, I'll compensate her with 100 more. Then, with a sardonic laugh directed at the housekeeper, she added, On an occasion like this, does a nanny like you even have the right to speak? A heavy silence fell over the room. Everyone was too intimidated to speak. Chi-Neem, her face impassive, turned to her aunt. Aunt and Mak Dan must be hungry, right? I'll take you both out to eat. After dinner, we'll go visit Grandma. Her aunt glanced around the room, taking in the faces of those present, then took her daughter's hand. Zhang Jiang, let go. Mock Dan hesitated. But Mom, Aunt, and Cousin Qin Yu are inviting us to dinner. Is it okay for us to just leave like this? Her aunt's eyes filled with a painful understanding. Ning Qing and Qin Yu clearly wanted nothing to do with them. Sweet, naive Dan still didn't grasp the situation. With a sigh, her aunt said, "It's all right, don't think about it. Let's go." As the three of them left, the housekeeper looked pleadingly at Qin Yu. "Miss, what should we do?" Qin Yu gave a small, cold smile. "Aunt Zhang, it's fine. Hurry and have a food served." Qin Yu picked up a glass of juice and stood, addressing the remaining guests. "I'm so sorry, everyone. On behalf of my sister, I apologize." The other women immediately waved their hands dismissively, showering her with flattery. "Oh, it's nothing, Uni. Don't worry about it. We all know what she's like. She's always been like this, getting into fights since she was little. Never a peaceful day." Another chimed in, "Exactly. Now that she's gone, we can finally relax and enjoy our meal. We were all so afraid." With that, everyone cheerfully clinked their glasses together, the meal punctuated by endless praise for Qin Yu. Outside the hospital, in the hallway, after dinner, the three of them visited their grandmother for a few hours. Seeing that it was getting late, Qin Nim said to her aunt, "Grandma needs to rest now. Let me take you two home." Her aunt, still shaken from the earlier encounter, worried about Qin Nim. Nim, tonight you." Qin Nim quickly cut her off. "What about tonight? Does Ning Qing even remember how her sister injured her leg all those years ago, working to pay for her tuition? She can't even stand for long periods now." Realizing her voice had risen, Qin Nim sighed and smoothed her hair. "Aunt, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you." Her aunt reached out and gently tapped her head, her voice filled with affection. "Silly child, I know you're doing all this for me, but your mother doesn't owe me anything. She didn't want their relationship to deteriorate further because of her." Qin Nim lowered her head, a bitter smile playing on her lips. Ning Qing didn't even need her. She wanted to cut ties with all her relatives, afraid they would bother the Lin family. How could she burden her aunt with such unpleasant truths? Better to keep it hidden. She pulled out a wad of cash and offered it to her aunt. "Aunt, Mock Dan wants to attend number 1 high school, right? This is the money I earned from my part-time job. Please take it." Her aunt refused the money. Nim, I don't need this. Keep it and buy yourself some nice clothes." She was incredibly proud of her thoughtful niece. Nim, you're so understanding. I'm so happy you thought of this." Qin Nim knew her aunt wouldn't accept it, no matter how much she insisted. Understanding her aunt's character, she didn't push further. "Okay, I understand." She sighed inwardly at her aunt's stubbornness. Aunt had always been headstrong, never touching the money Qin Nim sent to her account. No matter how much she sent, her aunt insisted on saving it for her, for a dowry when she eventually married. Qin Nim then made a decision. She would visit her aunt's house during the upcoming holidays and use the money to install an air conditioner for her. Suddenly remembering something, she quickly pulled out a bottle of medicine and asked, "Oh, right, Aunt, you've probably finished your medication, haven't you?" As her aunt reached for the medicine from Qin Nim's hand, Ning Qing suddenly appeared, her voice sharp with annoyance. "Qin Nim, what are you doing? Grandma's asleep." Mock Dan, Qin Nim's cousin, chimed in cheerfully. "It's all right, Grandma's already asleep. Sister Nim is just getting medicine for my mom." Hearing this, Ning Qing's voice rose as she questioned her daughter. "Qin Nim, are you still messing with those strange concoctions of your grandfather's? You should remember, your grandfather's experiments killed him. He went mad. Do you want to do the same to your aunt?" Ning Qing's words stunned everyone present. A wave of shock rippled through the room, leaving them speechless and aghast. Qin Nim shot a chilling glare at her mother, coldly uttering the two words, Ning Qing. Mock Dan, frightened by her cousin's intensity, covered his mouth with both hands. The air grew thick with tension. Her aunt, finally finding her voice, stammered, "Older sister, what are you saying?" Ning Qing, realizing her blunder, wrung her hands. I was just worried, so I spoke too quickly." Immediately backtracking, she added defensively, "But I was only warning you, so you wouldn't follow in your grandfather's footsteps." Lin Kanhian, observing the exchange, thought to himself, so that was Ning Qing's father? But I remember investigating her background before she married into the Lin family, and I didn't find anything unusual. Qin Nim let out a scornful laugh. "You shut up. You're not even worthy of mentioning my grandfather." Her expression hardened as she turned her icy gaze towards Ning Qing. "And I'll say this one last time, I am not insane. Seeing Qin Nim stride towards her, Ning Qing retreated in fear, still trying to explain. Nim, I misspoke. But now that you're in Yincheng, who else will look out for you if not me? Qin Nim remained unyielding. Don't call me Nim. We're not close, and I don't need you to worry about me. You're not worthy. Whatever I do is none of your business. Remember that. Passing by Ning Qing, she added coldly, and the medicine I gave Aunt is from a nationally funded research lab. Lin Kanhien was taken aback. She can get experimental medicine from a research lab? Even my connections in the capital can't manage that. Qin Nim didn't even glance at Lin Kanhien, walking past him as if he were invisible. Aunt, let's go. I'll take you and Mok Dan home. Lin Kanhien's eyes followed Qin Nim, captivated by her presence. Her aura drew him in. She hadn't changed a bit since their first encounter, still as aloof and cold as ever. He excused himself. Aunt Ning, I shouldn't interfere in family matters, but what you said earlier was truly out of line. I have things to attend to, so I'll take my leave. Ning Qing opened her mouth to speak, but Lin Kanhien had already turned and walked away. He quickly chased after Qin Nim. Let me drive you 3 home. Consider it my way of apologizing for Ning Qing's behavior. Qin Nim didn't turn back, flatly refusing. Lin Kanhien awkwardly stopped, only able to say, all right then, you 3 be careful. He thought, she's certainly cold. I wanted to find out what that medicine was, but I suppose I'll figure out later. Back with Ning Qing, she was still fuming. That wretched Qin Nim, not only did she cause a scene at the party, but she also humiliated me in front of Lin Kanhien. Just you wait and see how I deal with her later. While she muttered to herself, footsteps approached from behind. She turned around defensively, demanding, who's there? What do you want? Lu Jingji chuckled and turned to Cheng Xianyuan. She's asking what we're doing. Noticing the young man's unfriendly gaze, Ning Qing stepped forward. You there? Do I know you? Have I offended you in some way? Cheng Xianyuan held a scalpel, his expression icy. Who did you just call a lunatic? Are you a friend of Qin Nim's? Ning Qing suddenly recognized him. He was the man she'd seen at the private restaurant earlier. Along with this person in the white coat, they looked rather intimidating. Ning Qing lauket dismissivedi. I've told her time and again to stop associating with such riffraff, but she never listens. This is a VIP ward. Don't disturb my visit. Riffraff? Did I hear that correctly, Xianyuan? Is she talking about you or me? Go apologize to her. Infuriated by being reprimanded by a stranger, Ning Qing pointed at Cheng Xianyuan. Apologize to her? She's my daughter. It's perfectly normal for me to scold her. And you, who do you think you're to talk to me like that? Lu Jingji was about to confront Ning Qing's insolence when Cheng Xianyuan stopped him. Xianyuan, what's wrong? The elevator doors behind Ning Qing dinged open, revealing several people inside. Seeing them, Ning Qing called out, Director Jiang. With a fawning smile, she greeted him. Director Jiang, you've arrived at the perfect time. But he ignored her, brushing past her like a gust of wind. Xianyuan, are you finished? Everyone's waiting for you. Ning Qing realized she had underestimated Cheng Xianyuan. Even Director Jiang was deferential to him. Who was this man? Had she made a terrible mistake? Before leaving, Cheng Xianyuan fixed her with a chilling stare. Remember to apologize to her. Ning Qing, sweating profusely, stammered, oh, of course. If I ever hear you use those words toward her again. You understand the consequences, right? Lu Jingji mocked, shooing her away. If there's nothing else, you can scram. Ning Qing left, trembling with rage. Seeing the tension, Director Jiang took out a handkerchief and wiped his brow. Xianyuan, take a look at this month's surgery schedule for me. Lu Jingji will discuss the specifics with you. I'll be going now. Lu Jingji looked like he was about to cry. Xianyuan, you're leaving me to handle this alone? Cheng Xianyuan gave him a menacing smile. Or what? Lu Jingji resigned himself. Fine. I understand. As Qin Nim waited for a ride with her aunt and Mok Dan, a car suddenly stopped in front of them. Mok Dan said curiously, is that our ride? But it's not a bus. We've been waiting so long. Let's see. Qin Nim was engrossed in her mobile game, oblivious to the outside world. The driver honked repeatedly, finally catching her attention. Cheng Xianyuan rolled down the window. Where are you going? I'll give you a lift. Qin Nim was taken aback to see Cheng Xianyuan there. Why him? She wondered. He drove her aunt back to their apartment building. As her aunt got out of the car, she expressed her gratitude. Thank you for driving us back. Mok Dan, brimming with curiosity and admiration, blurted out, Cousin, was that handsome guy your friend? Her aunt, equally delighted, chimed in, Nim, have you finally made a new friend? Qin Nim not wanting to get into a lengthy explanation, simply replied, "Sure, you can think of it that way. I'm working for him." Her aunt stroked her hair. "Neem, you don't need to bring anything upstairs. Go home and take care of yourself. Don't overwork yourself." "Yes, I understand, Aunt. Wait for Mock Dan. Mock Dan, if anything happens at #1 high school, you can come to me." Lost in thought, Mock Dan asked her mother, "When I get into #1 high school, will I be like my cousins? Their friends are so rich and handsome. I'm so envious." Her mother consoled her. "Tomorrow, I'll buy new clothes for you and Mock Nam. Don't worry, just wait for the school term to start." Seeing Qi Nim emerge, Chung Xianyuan suggested, "Let's go. We'll pick up Lu Jingji and then head back to school." Qi Nim was surprised he was still there. "He actually waited for me?" she thought. And speaking of which, what a coincidence that he was at the hospital. Lu Jingji, climbing into the car and spotting Qi Nim, teased, "Hey, big boss Qi Nim, you're here too?" Seeing her engrossed in her game, Lu Jingji pulled out his phone. "Qi Nim, I see you're playing 9 provinces. How about we play a ranked match?" Just then, Lu Jingji's phone buzzed with a message. After reading it, he exclaimed excitedly, "Xianyuan, that god-tier player accepted our request." Hearing this, Chung Xianyuan slammed on the brakes in excitement. The screech of tires startled Qi Nim, nearly sending her phone flying. She shot a bewildered look at Chung Xianyuan. Lu Jingji gloated, "Xianyuan, I knew you'd be excited and surprised. Amazing, isn't it?" Lu Jingji glanced at Qi Nim, a knowing look in his eyes. "Xianyuan, why do you think that god-tier player suddenly accepted our request? This is so unlike them. Do you think, is it because the moon is beautiful tonight?" "Huh." Chung Xianyuan, focused on driving, pondered the question. Why did they suddenly agree? Could they have discovered something? Qi Nim looked at him, a subtle smile playing on her lips. Is he surprised? After arriving back at school, Qi Nim hurried back to her dorm room and grabbed her laptop. She was examining the data from the infirmary's computer. It looked perfectly normal. But why did Chung Xianyuan request a background check on Gu Shiqi? Her phone buzzed with a message. "Where are you these days? Someone in the country is investigating you." The reply was just 2 words. "Haha, are you planning to come back soon? Isn't this guy afraid of Jiangdongya?" She tossed her phone aside and made a decision. "Forget it. I've already accepted the request. I'll occasionally leak some information, some true, some false. They won't be able to find Gu Shiqi anytime soon. I have a good feeling about that code from before. Let's see if I can finish writing it this time." She quickly began typing the lines of code that were appearing in her mind. Her silence irritated her roommate, who glanced over. Putting on airs, isn't she? Not a word, just fiddling with that cheap computer of hers. Annoying. As she spoke, she texted Chinyu. Chinyu, though at home, was keeping tabs on Qi Nim's situation. "My sister's personality is quite strange. I'm worried she won't adapt to life at school. Can you tell me about the situation in her dorm?" Her friend quickly replied, "Today, she's just been messing around on her computer. Before that, she was pretending to read some foreign book. Does she even understand it? She's good at putting on a show." Lin Kinhien, along with another student, pushed open the door. "I brought a classmate back to grab a couple of reference books." "Ah, Nim, you're back." Qi Nim looked up, responding with a simple, "Yeah." After they stepped outside, Lin Kinhien excitedly asked the blue-haired girl, "Feng Mingwei, that was my roommate just now. Isn't she pretty?" Emichum, Feng Mingwei replied, reaching into her pocket, searching for something. Lin Kinhien continued, still engrossed in her own thoughts. "You don't have to return those reference books right away. Take your time reading them." Feng Mingwei held out a lollipop. "Lin Kinhien, could you give this lollipop to your roommate?" Lin Kinhien accepted it, puzzled. "My roommate is so cool. Would she even eat something like this?" Feng Mingwei smiled and nodded, replying with a confident tone, "She'll definitely like it." That evening, after returning, Feng Mingwei dreamt of a childhood memory. She was incredibly happy, spending time with her friend. Her friend played the violin beautifully. They had shared joys and sorrows, their youth intertwined. But due to some unresolved issue, their relationship had fractured. Feng Mingwei woke with a start, tears streaming down her face. "I don't want to see you again." Coincidentally, at that moment, Qi Nim also jolted awake from a dream, her face tense and drenched in sweat. The next day, as Tu Jiaoguang was about to enter the teacher's office, she overheard Ms. Li's sweet yet sharp voice. Mr. Chow, Chi Neem is a failing student. She's the only one in the entire school who scored a 0. This brought down your class average by 3 points. I warned you before, but you wouldn't listen. Why did you insist on taking Chi Neem? Mr. Chow defended his student with a chuckle. It's normal for kids at this age to be a bit mischievous. We need to guide them to form the correct perspectives. Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm here to pick up the physics papers. Ms. Lee, seeing her, praised Ayu. Your English score is still the highest. Keep up the good work. Tu Jiao Guang replied. Thank you, Ms. Lee. I'll be going now. The student walking beside Tu Jiao Guang felt her heart flutter. Tu Jiao Guang is so handsome. I'm so envious of Qin Yu for catching his attention. Lost in thought, she suddenly heard Tu Jiao Guang ask, "Can I take a look at Qin Neem's test paper?" Her face flushed as she quickly handed it over. Of course. Here, take a look. Tu Jiao Guang stared at the test, utterly bewildered. It was covered in writing, yet it scored a perfect 0. Even random guessing should have landed a few correct answers in the multiple choice section. Just then, Xiao Qing approached, bouncing a basketball. Hey, Tu, I've been looking for you. Didn't Qi Neem say she wanted us to listen to her practice her new piece or something? Why are you so engrossed in someone's test? Is it Qi Neem's? Xiao Qing snatched the paper from Tu Jiao Guang's hand. His eyes widened at the goose egg size 0. This is... Qi Neem got another 0? I have to tease her about this later. He turned and announced to the crowd gathered by the classroom door. And the rest of you, if you have nothing better to do, stop loitering around our classroom. Don't bother Qi Neem from our class. Tu Jiao Guang looked at Xiao Qing suspiciously. Since when are you so friendly with Qi Neem? Xiao Qing waved his hand dismissively. Don't get the wrong idea. Tuesday. I just find it amusing that she always gets 0. It's fun to tease her when I'm bored, that's all. He shoved Tu Jiao Guang forward. Go on, take the test back to the classroom. Qi Neem's waiting for you. Don't dawdle. Tu Jiao Guang was still suspicious, but decided not to dwell on it. Fine, fine. Meanwhile, Qi Neem was dozing on a bench near the music room, her face buried in her arms. Suddenly, a familiar melody drifted towards her, startling her awake. Why is it that song? Qi Neem looked towards the music room. Inside, Qin Yu stopped playing abruptly, and the other students exchanged puzzled glances. Why did she stop? Yeah, didn't she say she was practicing a new piece and wanted us to listen? I'm even recording this. Tu Jiao Guang was thoroughly confused. Could the violinist from before really have been Qin Yu? Qin Yu, why did you stop playing? Qin Yu offered a sheepish smile and a flimsy excuse. Sorry, I haven't mastered this piece yet. I usually practice in secret, so it's not perfect. I'll perform it for you guys next time after I've practiced more. Hearing this, Tu Jiao Guang turned to leave. It's okay, take your time. I won't bother you anymore. A few remaining students urged her on. You play the violin so well. Keep playing, we want to hear more. Qi Neem watched Tu Jiao Guang leave, a flicker of worry in her eyes. Even though she'd stopped playing quickly, had he noticed something off about the song she'd barely managed to play? Hearing the commotion below, Qi Neem's friend, Lin Kinhien, peered out the window. Why is it Qi Neem? Down below, Xiao Qing was following Qi Neem, relentlessly teasing her. Lin Kinhien felt a pang of jealousy. Xiao Qing is actually hanging out with her? He's probably just making fun of her for getting another 0. A rich young master like him, who donated an entire building to our school, would never be interested in someone like Qi Neem. Xiao Qing was indeed persistent, trailing behind Qi Neem like a shadow. Qi Neem, tell me, you're so pretty. Why do you always get 0 on your tests? You're not doing it on purpose, are you? Qi Neem's face burned with frustration. She fought to control her temper, not wanting to give him the satisfaction of seeing her lose her cool. She'd been hoping to hear more of the violin music, but this nosy guy had ruined everything. Finally, unable to bear his incessant chatter any longer, Qi Neem stopped abruptly and turned to shush him. Being this close to Qi Neem made Xiao Qing's face flush crimson, her heart skipping a beat. Her eyes, in this moment, were filled with adoration for Qi Neem. Seeing his friend suddenly frozen in place, Tu Jiao Guang clapped him on the shoulder and asked, "Let's go. What are you standing there dumbfounded for?" That evening, after school, Qi Neem went to Zheng Xian's place to cook. Lu Jingzhao, while eating, remarked that great God hasn't taken an order in over a year. He saw Zheng Xian signal him to be quiet, so he quickly changed the subject. "Ah, this dish is delicious. Why are you here now? Didn't you already come and cook this afternoon?" he asked her, looking at her quizzically. Qi Neem simply turned her head away without answering. Seeing the fatigue etched on her face, he asked, "Have you taken your sleeping pills?" Qi Neem glanced up at the medicine shelf and replied curtly, yes. While she stood there, lost in thought, Zhang Xian came up behind her and leaned close. His actions startled her, and her heart began to race. He was reaching for the medicine box on the high shelf, pouring the pills into his hand. He thought to himself, I can't let her take too many at once. I have to control the dosage. As she watched him, he looked back at her. Seeing his gaze, she quickly turned her head away. Zhang Xian, oblivious, asked, what's wrong? Oh, nothing, she thought. Were we just too close? She shook her head, dismissing the fleeting thought. Qi Nim turned back, snatched the pills from his hand, and said nonchalantly, thanks. Oh, right, I have something to do tonight and need to go out. I'll cook dinner now, and you guys can heat it up later, okay? Zhang Xian readily agreed. Do you need me to drive you? Qi Nim immediately declined. No, don't bother. I can go back myself. Lu Jing Zhao rushed in, clutching his laptop. Zhang Xian, I went to find Lao Su to get someone to look at the data. It'll take a while to get the results, though. Only then did Lu Jing Zhao realize that Qi Nim hadn't left. Oh, you're still here? Qi Nim glanced at the data on the laptop. She thought, this interface, this isn't a normal system error. It's been hacked. She started to speak. Actually, this is, but then stopped. She thought, better to say less. I shouldn't tell them just yet. Seeing both of them looking at her expectantly, she headed towards the kitchen, feigning nonchalance. It's nothing. I'm going to cook. While washing the vegetables, she analyzed the interface she had seen. The hacker's methods were sophisticated. Someone outside the industry wouldn't recognize it. They would just assume the computer was malfunctioning. Her hands, washing the vegetables, suddenly stopped. Lao Su's people might not realize it's a hack. Once the firewall is breached, Zhang Xian's data will be stolen. She felt a pang of conflict and sighed softly. Then, she quickly left. I've finished cooking. I'm going back now. Back in her dorm room, she immediately opened her laptop. I've never helped anyone for free before, but this time fine. Consider it a favor for Zhang Xian's high-paying orders. Her fingers flew across the keyboard with practiced ease. She quickly blocked the attacker's assault. On the other side, the frustrated hacker slammed their fist on the table. Seeing this, the person in white standing behind him asked, what's wrong? The hacker, frantically running his hands through his hair, replied, my attack was blocked. The young man behind him broke out in a cold sweat. Your attack was blocked? Could it be a high-ranking member of Huaming? The hacker immediately dismissed the idea. It's not Huaming. They have their own signature. If it's not them, then who could it be? After a large letter Q appeared on her screen, Qi Nim snapped her laptop shut. Stretching, she felt aches all over her body. All right, that's taken care of. Just in time for dinner at my aunt's. Arriving there, she was surprised to find Qin Yu and Ning Qing already present. Auntie, Mom and I still have a dish to finish. Don't start yet, Qin Yu said. Qin Yu continued her performance of amiable politeness. It's all right, Annie. I had afternoon tea at school, so I'm not hungry yet. Her smile was sweet, but inwardly she scoffed. Who would want to eat your food anyway? Uni, you study so hard. Tell me if there's anything you want to eat, and I'll have Aunt Zhang prepare it for you, Ning Qing said dotingly. Qi Nim's aunt finished cooking and brought out the food. Why are you all just sitting there? Everyone's family. Let's eat and chat. Noticing Qi Nim playing on her phone, her aunt gently nudged her. Nimni, why don't you get some food and soup for your mother? Qi Nim understood her aunt's intention. She was trying to smooth things over between her and Ning Qing. Unfortunately, Qin Yu quickly intercepted. She handed a bowl of soup to Ning Qing and praised. Mom, this soup Annie made is delicious. You should have some more. It's still my Uni who's thoughtful, unlike some people, Ning Qing replied, a pointed barb in her tone. Mu Ming, despite eating, couldn't resist asking Qin Yu. Cousin, I heard from my mom that your grades are excellent. Which university are you planning to apply to? Ning Qing answered proudly on her behalf. She wants to go to Beijing University, the same university as her older brother. Mu Ming's eyes filled with admiration. Wow, cousin, you're so amazing. Don't just talk about me. My cousin is also in her final year. Oh, right. I don't know which university you want to apply to, Qin Yu said, turning to Qin Nim. As soon as Qin Yu finished her question, the dining table fell silent. Then, feigning innocence, she added, Oh dear, did I say something wrong? But Qin Yu didn't realize Qin Nim wasn't one to back down. She calmly set down her chopsticks. Then, with an air of supreme confidence, she replied, I'm aiming for Beijing University. Ning Qing slammed her chopsticks down in annoyance. What nonsense are you spouting? Do you think Beijing University is a place you can get into? All you do is brag. Aren't you afraid of embarrassing yourself? Qin put on a conciliatory smile and intervened. Mom, she has high aspirations. That's why she wants to go to Beijing University. Why are you so angry? I'll be waiting for you at Beijing University, cousin, so work hard and prove yourself to Mom. Qin, her ears ringing from the exchange, casually dug at her ear and retorted haughtily, "You don't need to worry about my affairs. None of you need to." Mu Nan, observing the conversation, fell into contemplation. It seems like my cousin has made up her mind, putting on airs and saying you don't need me. If I don't care about you, who will? So high and mighty. Oh, do you need me to remind you what I've done for you since you came to Yuncheng? Ning Qing, struck to the core, sputtered incoherently. Huh, well, I'm glad you remember. You think you're so clever? Just you wait. Don't come crawling to me begging for help getting into university. From today on, you're on your own. Qin burst out laughing at the ludicrous threat. You can barely string a sentence together, let alone pull strings. Her aunt, sitting between them, sighed wearily, caught in the crossfire. Neem, please, can we just drop it? Fine, Qin conceded. I'll just go get a drink. Qin chimed in, her voice dripping with false politeness. Auntie, I really should be going. I need to practice my piano. I'll just say goodbye now. In truth, she couldn't stand being in the cramped, shabby apartment a moment longer. Auntie cousin, she added, turning to Qin with a saccharine smile, let me see you out. As Ning Qing passed Qin on her way out, she recalled Cheng Tian's earlier words and paused. With a forced air of contrition, she muttered, about earlier, I apologize. I spoke too harshly. And about university, I'll give you some money for a decent school. A perfectly average one, she finished quickly, eager to escape. Qin stood there dumbfounded. Had Ning Qing actually apologized? She shook her head, dispelling the fleeting thought. The apology might have been uttered, but the underlying disdain remained. Ning Qing still saw her as a failure. Pushing the thought aside, Qin drained her glass in one long gulp. She exhaled slowly, a wave of emotion washing over her as she looked at the glass in her hand. It was the same one she'd cherished as a child. After all these years, her aunt had kept it. Auntie, go and rest, Qin offered. I'll do the dishes. Meanwhile, at the principal's office, Principal Tu gestured towards a young man with purple hair. Officer Liu, this is Feng Zi, he introduced. He specializes in information technology at Beijing University. He's currently running a software company with some partners. I've asked him to take a look at your computer. The young man shook Lu Jingzhao's hand, wondering if this was the famed Liu family from the capital. Hello, Officer Liu, he greeted. Lu Jingzhao handed over his laptop. Thank you for taking a look. I appreciate it. I'll do my best, Feng Zi replied. Well, Lu Jingzhao pressed anxiously. Can you fix it quickly? Feng Zi examined the computer as he spoke. Officer Liu, this isn't a normal system error. Your computer was hacked. The attacker left their signature. Judging by the mark, it's likely the work of Black Hawk. Lu Jingzhao's eyes widened. Black Hawk? Are you serious? Is our data still there? Yes, it is, Feng Zi confirmed. Because someone counterattacked. Cheng Tian spoke up, his voice cool and collected. Do you know who helped? Lu Jingzhao looked up at the sound of Cheng Tian's voice, then adopted a bright, reassuring tone. Don't worry, Tian. Our data is safe. I already know, Cheng Tian replied flatly. I overheard. Feng Zi was startled by Lu Jingzhao's familiar address. Tian? Could this be the untouchable figure from the capital? Unfortunately, Feng Zi continued, the attacker didn't leave any trace, so it's impossible to tell who intervened. Lu Jingzhao, brimming with curiosity, turned to Cheng Tian. Tian, do you think it was someone you know? Some powerful friend who stepped in to help? Probably not, Cheng Tian responded dismissively. From the moment the computer was attacked until now, we've only encountered Qin, but it surely couldn't be her. Do you all still have things to do? I won't disturb you any further. Please excuse me. Officer Lu Jingzhao moved to leave. Officer Liu was quickly stopped by the purple-haired young man. Wait, let's go together. After all, we have to thank you for your help today. Lin Tunin looked around. Where's your friend? I don't see her. She had something to do and stepped out, Lu Jingzhao replied, noticing the pretty blue-haired girl standing beside Lin Tunin. Lu Jingzhao teased Lin Tunin. Do you choose your friends based on their looks? The purple-haired young man, Feng Zi, was startled when he saw Feng Mingyu. Why is she here? Feng Mingyu blushed slightly at being teased. Feng Tu walked up to Feng Mingyu, causing everyone to look at them curiously. Why did you move out to the dorms? Lin Tunin looked back and forth between Feng Tu and Feng Mingyu. Did they know each other? Suddenly, Feng Mingyu grabbed Lin Tunin's hand. 12th grade is busy with studies, so I thought staying at school would be more convenient. Mingyu, her secret about to be revealed. Feng Mingyu cut Feng Tu off and pulled Lin Tunin away. I have to go back and hand out the assignments. After running for a while, Feng Mingyu finally stopped, breathing a sigh of relief. Mingyu, you know Feng Tu? He was a famous figure in our school. I heard he and Qin Yu's older brother, Lin Jinxian, started a business together. They're bound to achieve great things in the future. Does this mean I've latched onto your powerful connections, Mingyu? Feng Ming, you seem to be avoiding something. She thought for a moment, then shook her head in denial. I'm just a distant relative of the Feng family. I stayed at their house for a while, but I'm not very close to him. They're very capable. I can't compare to them. Lin Tunin kindly encouraged her. Why can't you compare? Your grades are in the top 2 of the entire school. Mingyu, don't be so modest. You're very talented, you know. Hangzhu, Lin Tunin. Let me tell you a little secret. My grades used to be terrible. I only got single digits in math. Lin Tunin immediately shook her head. Stop teasing me. How many times have you gotten a perfect score in math? You're just trying to mess with me, aren't you? After chatting about everything under the sun, the two waved goodbye to each other. Lin Tunin thought to herself, why does Mingyu's figure seem to carry a sense of sadness and loneliness? When Lin Tunin arrived back in the classroom, she noticed Qin Nim seemed to be asleep. Tunin picked up Nim's test paper and smiled at the result. A score of 6 this time. It was progress, after all. Just then, Tu Zhao Kuang walked by and asked if Tunin had found anyone to help with the wall newspaper Ms. Chow had mentioned earlier. Lin Tunin put a finger to her lips, signaling him to be quiet. Nim is sleeping. She worked late last night and didn't get back until the early hours. Ho ding dis, Tu Zhao Kuang looked wat kin yam, su pate, working? Really? Yes, at the milk tea shop by the school gate. Last night, Nim was covering someone's shift and came back in the pouring rain. With exams coming up, she probably won't find anyone willing to help with the wall newspaper. If I really can't find anyone, I'll do it myself, so don't worry. Just don't delay the progress. This wall newspaper will be entered into the competition for Wall Newspaper of the Year. Wake her up. She's been slumped over her desk all morning. Hearing this guy, Tu Zhao Kuang chattering away, Qin Nim opened her eyes in annoyance. He's going on and on. So annoying. Only my kind desk mate would put up with him. Nim, I left your test paper on your desk. Remember to look at the corrections when you wake up properly. Qin Nim sat up groggily, propping her head up with her hand, her face flushed. Okay, she mumbled. Lin Tunin immediately noticed something was off. Nim, why is your face so red? Did you catch a cold in the rain? I'm Phoenix. Are you really okay? Should I ask around for some cold medicine? You should take some. Nonet Tunin. What time is it? It's already lunchtime. Have you eaten anything? I can go buy you something. Qin Nim tugged at her collar, pulling it down slightly. No need, thanks. I have to go out for a bit. Is Nim going to work again? She's working too hard. I wish someone could talk to her. Qin Nim dragged her feverish body towards the infirmary, leaning heavily against the door as she entered. Inside, Lu Jingzhao, having not yet seen Qin Nim arrive, was feeling hungry and asked Cheng Tian, where's that tough girl? I mean, where's Qin Nim? Why isn't she here yet? I'm getting hungry. Lu Jing Zhao looked surprised. It seems we have a lead on the person who helped us fight back against the hackers last time. Cheng Tian calmly asked, why are you so flustered? Tell me, the person's alias is cute. Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of the door opening. Qin Nim, burning with fever, stood in the doorway. She felt incredibly weak, her body swaying, and she had to lean against the wall to stay upright. You're finally here. I was about to starve, Lu Jing Zhao exclaimed. But it's so hot. Why are you not only wearing a jacket, but also have your collar pulled up so high? It's nothing. I'll go make lunch now. Cheng Tian noticed something was wrong with Qin Nim. Worried, he stood up and quickly walked towards her, observing her flushed face. Are you sick? He asked with concern. A little, she admitted. Lu Jing Zhao, finally realizing the problem, jumped up. Qin Nim, are you sick? Cheng Tian, quickly help her over to the sofa to rest while I find a thermometer. It's no big deal. I'll go cook for you too, Chang Yin said, trying to sound cool and collected. You're sick, and you're still trying to act tough? Go rest on the sofa. Now, do you want me to carry you over there? His words made her already flushed face even redder. Qin Nim was silent for a moment. Then she cooperated and went to sit on the sofa. Cheng Tian grabbed the thermometer from the shelf. Then, not forgetting to tell his friend, he said, Lu Jing Zhao, call in you and order some food, then drive and pick it up. Okay, I know, Tian, Lu Jingzhao replied. Qi Nim cooperated fully, pulling her hair back so Cheng Tian could take her temperature. The thermometer read 39.5 degrees Celsius. Seeing the result, Cheng Tian felt a surge of anger. You're burning up this badly and you said you were fine? He scolded, taking a cloth and placing it on her forehead. Lie down. I'll get enforce started for you. He thoughtfully placed the saline solution and the 4-line within easy reach. Suddenly, Cheng Tian took her hand. Qi Nim felt a jolt like a mild electric shock and broke out in a sweat. She looked at him, puzzled, and found him seriously inserting the 4 cannula. Seeing her apprehension, he looked at her warmly and said soothingly, "Don't worry, it won't hurt." Qi Nim, embarrassed, turned her face away. "It's done. I told you it wouldn't hurt." He replied. "Well, it's done now. Lie here. I'll get you some water." Cheng Tian went to the kitchen to get some water. But thinking of something, he added 2 sugar cubes to the water. Seeing a jar of candy on the nearby kitchen counter, he paused. The image of her with a lollipop at the hospital flashed through his mind. Why did I suddenly buy candy again? He wondered. He brought the glass of water over to her. He found Qi Nim fast asleep, looking unusually docile. He gently checked her temperature. She's usually like a little hedgehog. Only when she's sick does she become a little obedient, he thought. He then placed a piece of candy in her hand, gently closing her fingers around it so it wouldn't fall out. His gaze softened as he looked at her, filled with affection. He recalled the moment he was captivated by her at the hospital. Back then, she looked mischievous, with a cool, indifferent air. But she was completely unaware that this very demeanor had captured his attention, drawing him into her world, unwilling to let go. It wasn't until Lu Jingzhao asked, "What are you looking at?" that he closed his eyes and turned away. But her image was deeply etched in his mind, unforgettable. He constantly found himself thinking about her slender waist. After some time, Qi Nim finally woke up. I didn't expect to sleep for so long, she thought. She felt much better. Seeing the neatly applied bandage on her hand, she felt a touch of warmth in her heart. Just then, she heard a voice ask, "Are you awake?" Cheng Tian, looking every bit the doting husband, said, "I've ordered dinner from you. Eat before you go back." Looking at his warm and incredibly handsome appearance, her heart skipped a beat. "Thank you," she managed. The scene shifts to the Lin family home. 5 people are sitting at the dinner table. Lin Shi turns to his son and asks, "I heard Feng Tu is back, is that right? His father is the mayor. The Feng family is a prominent family. You must seize this opportunity." "I know, Dad, don't worry. Our project this time is in Yuncheng. I will definitely do my best. The Feng family has deep roots. Are you sure this collaboration won't cause any major issues?" Lin Shi inquired. "No, Uncle, I'll be careful," came the reassuring reply. Lin Shi shifted his gaze towards Qin Yu. "How did Yu do on her exams this time, sister-in-law?" he asked. Ning Qing, Yu's mother, quickly interjected. "She just took a comprehensive test. It was just a regular exam, nothing special." She added, with a touch of boastfulness, "Our Yu is always so modest." Lin Shi, internally annoyed by Ning Qing's blatant bragging, silently cursed her under his breath. Yu's older sister, Qi Nim, also attends number 1 high school. How is she doing? Lin Shi's pointed question caused Ning Qing to tense, a sense of foreboding washing over her. "They aren't in the same class," Qin Yu replied smoothly. "I've only seen her English scores, and they weren't great. I think once she adapts to number 1 high school's curriculum, she'll be fine, Uncle." She added, with a subtle dig, "The education in Ninghai village really isn't very good. It's a good thing you grew up in the Lin family. All right, go upstairs and rest." Lin Shi dismissed them. This was a clear jab at Ning Qing, reminding her of her own humble origins. Meanwhile, Qi Nim was having dinner with Cheng Tian and Lu Jingzhao when her phone rang. The moment she answered, Ning Qing's furious voice erupted from the speaker. "Qi Nim, just what kind of trouble have you caused now?" Having been subtly mocked by Lin Shi during dinner, Ning Qing was taking out her frustration on Qi Nim. "You failed your last exam, didn't you? With your grades? Even if I spend money, I won't be able to find a university that will accept you. Do you have any idea how I was treated at the dinner table tonight?" Qi Nim fought to suppress her own anger. "If there's nothing else," she said wearily, her voice raspy, "I'm hanging up." She didn't need to guess what they had been saying about her. "Look at her," Ning Qing's daughter, the one who scored last in the whole school. "Qi Nim, I'm going to find you a tutor. You'll start this Sunday. You're going to attend those classes and stop gallivanting around. Do you you hear me? Ning Qing continued her tirade, oblivious to the fact that Qin Nim had already hung up. That little brat, she dared to hang up on me. Chang Tian, noticing her distress, asked gently, "Who was that?" They sounded awful. Qin Nim gave a weak cough. "Would you believe me if I said it was my mother?" Her voice was hoarse, each cough racking her body. Yet, her mother hadn't even bothered to ask if she was all right. "Have some more soup," Chang Tian said, rising from his seat. "I'll get you some cough medicine." Lu Jingzhao muttered to himself, "Well, I guess there's no room for me to speak. Forget it. Food is more important." Chang Tian returned with a blue thermos. "Here, drink this. Do you need me to get you excused from evening self-study?" "No need. I'm feeling better," Qin Nim replied, taking the thermos and drinking deeply. She had expected the medicine to be bitter, but instead, a surprising sweetness touched her tongue. The warm water she drunk earlier had tasted sweet too. It wasn't her imagination after all. Chang Tian's thoughtfulness warmed her heart. "I'm going back to self-study," she announced. "Wait," Chang Tian called after her. "Take this with you. It's a new thermos. Nobody's used it. And try not to drink too many sugary drinks. They're not good for you." Qin Nim hesitated for a moment, then accepted the thermos. "Thank you," she murmured. As their fingers brushed, a subtle spark passed between them. The incident left Chang Tian's heart in turmoil. Qin Nim had left, but he remained frozen in place for a long moment. Her fingers had been so cold. On her way back to class, Qin Nim's path was blocked by a commotion ahead. A group of girls were confronting Feng Mingwei. "Hey, I'm not finished talking to you yet. Don't you walk away." Qin Nim, witnessing this typical high school drama, felt a surge of annoyance towards these self-important girls. "Feng Mingwei, how did you get an extra 20 points on the college entrance exam? You're not from a minority group, so why did you get bonus points?" A girl next to her tried to calm her friend. "All right, Xiang Han, just let it go." "Why should I? If she dares to do it, I dare to call her out." She and Su Jiaguang always have a 20-point difference. Ms. Li even said that with those extra points, she would have been the top scorer. "Feng Mingwei, tell us, don't you feel disgusted with yourself?" Hearing the commotion, Lin Si ran open the classroom door to see what was happening. "Evening study is about to start. Why is it so noisy in the hallway?" "Oh, Nim, you're back? Where did you go?" "And Feng Mingwei, you're here too." Qin Nim walked forward, her gaze cold as she looked at the group of girls. "Move." The leader, unaccustomed to being spoken to in such a tone, bristled. "What did you say?" "I told you to move." Lin Si ran. Standing behind her, felt a surge of anxiety. Why is Nim confronting Xiang Han? Nobody usually dares to provoke that little demon. Her rich daddy donated a building to the school. Qin Nim repeated haughtily, "Are you deaf? I said move. Get out of my way. How dare you talk to me like that? Do you want to die?" Even Feng Mingwei was surprised to see Qin Nim defending her. Qin Nim, without a word, thrust her thermos into Lin Si Ran's hands and then took off her jacket. Lin Si Ran, her heart pounding, started to say, "Don't," but Qin Nim had already tossed her jacket at her. Qin Nim, in this moment, was the picture of a true badass. She looked at the group of girls with arrogance. "Come on, all of you. Let's get this over with. I'm talking to Feng Mingwei. What's it to you? Why are you interfering?" Xiang Han was still putting on a tough front when Qin Nim grabbed her, making her yelp in surprise. Qin Nim shoved Xiang Han hard against the wall. Then, she glanced at Xiang Han's friends, her eyes icy. "Well, do you want some too?" The two girls, intimidated by Qin Nim's dominance, shrank back, sweat beading on their foreheads. "Why you? If you keep this up, we'll go get the school administrator." "Oh, really? You dare?" Feng Mingwei instinctively reached out and took Qin Nim's hand. "Stop fighting. Think about yourself. There won't be a next time." Xiang Han, looking at Qin Nim's furious face, trembled, tears welling in her eyes. When Qin Nim finally released her, she collapsed weakly to the floor. Qin Nim walked over to Si Ran and said softly, "Si Ran, let's go." "Oh, okay." Lin Si Ran, still reeling from Qin Nim's display of awesomeness, breathed. Nim, you were amazing." "It was nothing," Qin Nim thought to herself, "but there are some things I can't do." The following day, after a full morning of classes, Mr. Chow announced, "That's all for today's lesson. You have a remaining 10 minutes for self-study." Suddenly, the classroom door was flung open with a bang. Mrs. Li stormed in, her voice booming as she confronted Mr. Chow. "What's going on with Qin Nim in your class? She dared to hit a student from my class. How can someone with such behavior deserve a place in Class A?" The entire class turned their gaze towards Qin Nim. "Mr. Chow, I said from the beginning that we shouldn't accept this student into our prestigious #1 high school. And now she's even resorting to violence." This is outrageous, Mrs. Lee exclaimed. Mrs. Lee, I think there might be a misunderstanding. Chi-Neem isn't unreasonable. Perhaps there's been some mistake. What misunderstanding could there possibly be? Look at her indifferent expression. I'm going to see the principal right now. You should contact Chi-Neem's parents and have them come here immediately. A boy at a nearby desk glanced at the teacher and whispered to his friend, Did Chi-Neem really fight with Xiang-Han? Seriously? Another boy chimed in, It's not that surprising. I heard Chi-Neem caused a huge incident before, even involving the police. Chi-Neem, no longer wanting to hear the whispers, slammed her book shut. Chi-Neem stood up abruptly, unflinching. Why do we fight? She asked pointedly. Didn't Xiang-Han tell you? Mrs. Lee retorted, A fight is a fight. What reason do you need? If you want to make excuses, go tell them to. Seeing Mrs. Lee's condescending attitude, Chi-Neem pulled out her phone. Tell them to who? The principal? You don't need to bother. He's on his way. Chung Tian looked skeptical. The principal is always busy. How could Chi-Neem just summon him like that? Lu Jing Zhao shared his concern. Chi-Neem's gone too far this time. Getting Principal 2 to come here on a whim is as difficult as getting the mayor. He scoffed. She can't even lie convincingly. I could say Principal 2 is at my house right now. Would you believe me? But Principal 2's next words left Mrs. Lee speechless. What's all this commotion? Mrs. Lee spun around to see Principal 2 standing there, seemingly out of nowhere. Mr. Chow and Mrs. Lee greeted him in surprise. Principal 2. Mrs. Lee eyed Chi-Neem with a newfound wariness. What's going on? Did Chi-Neem really call you here? Chi-Neem smirked. Scared you, didn't I? Well, I figured I'd just get it over with. Principal 2, you arrived just in time, Mrs. Lee said quickly. Yesterday, Chi-Neem attacked Xiang-Han from my class. My top student can't be subjected to this kind of treatment. You must get justice for Xiang-Han. She looked triumphantly at Chi-Neem. I knew even if you came, Principal 2, you wouldn't be able to say anything. Seeing Principal 2's silence, the class began to murmur again. She's really overdoing it. Xiang-Han comes from a good family and has excellent grades. How could Chi-Neem dare to provoke her? They're both surnamed Qin, but she and Qin Yu are worlds apart. Lu Jing Zhao frowned, uncomfortable with the whispers. Chi-Neem, however, remained confident, a slight smile playing on her lips. Then, she delivered her counterblow. If you care so much about your students, Mrs. Lee, why didn't you notice Feng Mingyue being bullied and harassed by Xiang-Han? Mrs. Lee stammered. Chi-Neem pressed on. Don't bother denying it. There are security cameras in the girls' dormitory hallway. If you still have doubts, you can go check the footage. Chi-Neem didn't stop there. Her voice sharp, she launched a rapid-fire interrogation. Why had Mrs. Lee completely ignored Xiang-Han's insults towards Feng Mingyue and the unfair advantage Xiang-Han received in her university entrance exam score? Was Mrs. Lee's concern for her students only reserved for those with power and influence? Mrs. Lee, stunned by Chi-Neem's pointed accusations, froze, unsure how to respond. At this point, Principal 2 finally spoke. Mrs. Lee, he said, I believe we need to review the security footage and involve the police in this investigation. If what Chi-Neem says is true, then this bullying is unacceptable at our school. Mrs. Lee's jaw dropped. How had this escalated to bullying and police involvement? Seeing the situation spiraling out of control, she quickly backpedaled. Principal 2, y sincerely apologize. I hadn't fully investigated the matter and was unaware of Feng Mingyue's involvement. She turned to Chi-Neem. This conversation is pointless. Chi-Neem is the one directly involved. Forced to concede, Mrs. Lee approached Chi-Neem. Ahem, Chi-Neem, I seem to have misunderstood. Chi-Neem cut her off. No need for that, she said bluntly. I've always heard that Mrs. Lee cares deeply for her students, but I never expected you to be someone who discriminates based on wealth. Xiao Qing, unable to contain herself any longer, covered her mouth to stifle her laughter. Su Jiaguang's gaze towards Chi-Neem softened with newfound respect. Mrs. Lee, fuming, stormed out of the classroom. As she retreated, peals of laughter erupted from within. Ha ha ha. Chi-Neem, what was all that about? Do you need me to teach Xiang-Han a lesson for you? Thanks, but no need, Chi-Neem replied. Come on, Qin, you said we're practicing a new piece on the piano today. As they walked towards a music room, Qin Yu probed, I heard everyone talking about my sister. What did she do this time? Seeing their puzzled expressions, Qin Yu forced a laugh, wondering why they were looking at her that way. Had she said something wrong? Am I wrong? She continued. Those rumors are all true. My sister getting into fights is as common as eating. Principal 2 only accepted her into the school out of pity. Xiao Qing couldn't stand hearing someone speak about her idol that way. Why do you have such a strong prejudice against your own sister? He burst out. She's not what everyone says she is. Just like today, it was Xiang Han who started it. Xiao Qing, unexpectedly defending Qi Nim. Disgusted by the atmosphere, Xiao Qing turned to his friend. I'm not going to the art building today. I'm going to play basketball. He then rallied the other students. Come on, let's go get the ball. Su Jiaguang approached Qinyu. Principal 2 isn't actually that compassionate, you know. Qinyu let out a confused hum, then giggled, covering her mouth. How do you know what Principal 2 is like? You're not related to him, are you? Though it is a coincidence you both share the same last name. Let's go. I want to practice the new piece some more. Okay, by the way, Su Jiaguang, do you know who's in charge of the class bulletin board this time? Is it you? No, Nie Fei is in charge of the illustrations, and Lin Ran is doing the calligraphy. Qinyu, remembering Qin Nim's usual companion, smiled slyly. Oh really? She feigned surprise. Goodness, Nie Fei, what do you mean you can't do the wall newspaper? Nie Fei replied apologetically. The student council asked me to help with the school's wall newspaper, so I really can't do the class one. I'm so sorry. Lin Ran quickly agreed. It's okay, it's okay. The school's wall newspaper is quite important. I'll figure something out for the class one. Nie Fei looked a little awkward, but couldn't do anything else. Well, I'll go work on the student council's wall newspaper then. Next time a class needs help with the wall newspaper, I won't refuse. Lin Ran slumped onto her desk, her inner turmoil a silent scream. She imagined her family being mocked by Mrs. Li and the other classes, failing in her studies, and now, unable to even manage the wall newspaper, she felt like nothing more than a stepping stone for the advanced classes. Sob, what am I going to do? This wall newspaper counts towards our grade for the whole year. We're doomed. As Si Ran wallowed in despair, a classmate approached and asked, Did you offend Xinyu? I saw her talking to Nie Fei earlier, asking her to help with the student council's promotional wall newspaper. Do you think maybe? Lin Ran immediately shook her head. No way. I haven't had anything to do with Qinyu at all. The classmate sighed. Well, I don't know what happened then. I guess Class A1 and A2 will laugh at us again. I was hoping to get a good evaluation for this wall newspaper to make Mr. Chow happy. Mrs. Li gives him such a hard time. He doesn't say anything, but it must be embarrassing. If only Nie Fei had told me sooner, I could have found someone else to help. Now it seems too late. What are we going to do? Well, there's nothing we can do now. Si Ran, don't worry too much. Let's go get dinner first. Si Ran turned to her desk mate. Nim, are you coming with us? I want to sleep. You guys go ahead. When the classroom was empty, Qin Nim sat down, staring at the blackboard, lost in thought. I only came here to appease Grandma and kill some time. The homework is boring. The teachers play favorites, and the maliciousness of these supposedly gifted kids is suffocating. Everything about this place is just repulsive. The kind face of Mr. Chow and the warm encouragement of Si Ran flashed through her mind. Nim, if you have any problems, you can always come to me. Don't be shy. Nim, I'll lend you my notes. You'll definitely improve next time. She sighed, exasperated. There must be something wrong with me. Why would I even bother with this pointless stuff? With a resigned shrug, she picked up a piece of chalk and began sketching out an idea that was forming in her mind. She was completely unaware that Su Jiaguang was returning to the classroom at that very moment. Seeing her drawing, he was taken aback. She can draw? Outside the VIP room of the hotel, Principal 2 asked his nephew, Why are you so late? I went back to get something I left behind, Su Jiaguang replied, the image of Qin Nim drawing still fresh in his mind. And I saw something I couldn't believe. Of course, he kept that second part to himself. Entering the room, Su Jiaguang greeted the others. Hello, Councilman Liu. It's a surprise to see you in Yunsheng, young Master Su. Old Su, I heard you gave a young lady a letter of recommendation for enrollment. Is that true? Of course, but it wasn't just one person. Not just one? You mean besides Qin Nim, there's someone else? Could they all be connected to the incident at Linghai Town all those years ago? All right, let's eat. We'll talk about this later. Lu Jing Zhao, brimming with curiosity, turned to old Su. So, who is this exceptional successor you mentioned earlier? Su Jiaguang, sitting beside him, felt a sudden tension. Wasn't he supposed to be his grandfather's successor? Principal Tu glanced at his grandson, thinking that Su Jiaguang was still too green to take over. Unless he stayed close to that person. Jiaguang, finish your meal and go ahead. You still have evening self-study. Yes, grandfather. Well then, old Tu and young Tu, you go ahead. I'll wait a bit longer. I've asked the waiter to pack some food to take away. Lu Jing Zhao, understanding his intent, teased him with a smile. You're taking food back for someone who's sick, aren't you? He. This busybody, have you got so little work lately that you become this free? Lu Jing Zhao immediately deflated. Huh? Oh no, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare to guess Chairman Twin's thoughts anymore. As the two men reached the hotel elevator doors, they happened to run into Feng Tu and his companion. Seeing them, Feng Tu greeted them. Mr. Chung, Mr. Liu. Feng Tu, take your time with your meal. We'll go ahead. Watching them leave, Lin Jinxian whispered to Feng Tu. Who were those two just now? The Chung family and the Liu family from the capital. So, they're from major families in the capital. The Lin family in the capital isn't really worth mentioning. If only I could establish connections with them. When Feng Tu followed Lin Jinxian back to the Lin family home, he was utterly surprised to see his mother there. Mother? Why are you here? Inside the Lin residence, everyone was seated formally at the dining table, ready to receive guests. Mrs. Feng, in a fashionable dress, wore a serious expression. She looked at her son with a hint of disapproval. Feng Tu, why are you so late? Sensing the tense atmosphere, Qin Yu smiled ingratiatingly at Mrs. Feng. Annie, I'm sure Feng Tu and Jin Xian are very hungry after being busy all day. Auntie, let me tell the staff to serve the food first. Mrs. Feng's expression softened slightly. She looked at Qin Yu approvingly. As expected of our Yuer, so thoughtful and understanding. Mrs. Feng gestured to Feng Tu. Come, sit next to you. Ning Qing, inwardly delighted, quickly exchanged glances with Lin Qi. It seemed Mrs. Feng was very fond of Qin Yu. Perhaps this marriage alliance would go smoothly after all. The next day, at Yinxing No. 1 High School, a group of students representing each class were walking down the hallway to inspect the class bulletin boards for the competition. Is everyone here now? If so, let's start inspecting the bulletin boards from Class 1. As the group prepared to head to Class 1, Qin Yu smirked meaningfully. Wait a minute, everyone. She put on an innocent air as she made her suggestion. Why don't we start inspecting from Class 9 this time? We always start from Class 1. Don't you find it a bit boring? A female student immediately supported Qin Yu's proposal. That's a good idea. I agree. If we see something too impressive at the beginning, it'll be harder to judge the classes that come after. Having achieved her goal, Qin Yu smiled contentedly and continued. You're absolutely right. What do you think, President? Su Jiaguang's gaze held a hidden meaning as he looked at Qin Yu. After a moment's thought, he agreed. I think that's fine. Then the group gradually made their way towards Class 9, Mr. Chow's class, where Qin Nim was a student. Those at the front chattered amongst themselves. I heard the Class 9 kids boasting that they'll definitely beat Class 1 in the bulletin board competition this time. Let's go see what masterpiece they've cooked up. A boy next to them scoffed, clearly unconvinced. Last time, Class 9's board came in dead last, and it even had spelling mistakes. And now they think they can beat Class 1? Talk about delusional. Terrifying, really. I'm so scared. The group quickly arrived at Class 9 and found the room buzzing with excitement. A curious student from another class asked, Class President, what's going on? Qin Yu, wearing a saccharine smile, replied disingenuously, perhaps it's because their bulletin board is just so beautiful. Inwardly, she seethed with smug satisfaction. Without Nye Fei to help them, there's no way Class 9 could produce anything decent. Inside the classroom, a crowd of students surrounded Nye Fei, showering her with praise. Nye Fei, I never knew you were such a hidden talent. This drawing is incredible. Is this a romance you're drawing? It reminds me of your journey from trainee to debut and stardom. Overwhelmed by the attention, Nye Fei panicked. This wasn't her work. She waved her hands, trying to explain. Oh, no, it wasn't me. I was at the student council all night working on the school's bulletin board. Maybe you should ask Lin Si Ran or Qin Nim. Maybe one of them drew it. Meanwhile, Lin Si Ran was practically skipping with joy. She couldn't believe her class finally had a bulletin board entry to be proud of. Her eyes sparkling, she turned to Qin Nim. Yem. Do you think maybe heaven saw how much I loved it and sent a genius to help us? While the class buzzed with speculation about the artist's identity, a knock came at the door. "Excuse me, we're here to inspect the bulletin board." But when they saw Class 9's entry, their jaws dropped in astonishment. Holy cow, look at that. They weren't kidding. Class 9's board is actually amazing. Yeah, it's so vibrant. Chin, you must have known how good Class 9's board was. That's why she brought us here first, right? Whoa, I never thought Class 9 could be this good. Chin Yu's eyes nearly popped out of her head. She muttered in disbelief. How is this possible? Only Su Jiaguang remained silent. He was the only one who had witnessed Qin Nim creating the masterpiece. Looking at the bulletin board, everyone whispered amongst themselves. Wow, it's Yen Ti's journey from trainee to superstar. It's so moving just looking at it. Yeah, the detail on the injured arm and the determined expression is beautiful. The artist is a master. Definitely a master. Two girls from another class, tasked with judging, turned excitedly to Su Jiaguang. "Class president, what score are you giving them?" The other girl, still awestruck, gushed. "It's incredible. I've never seen such a beautiful bulletin board in all my 3 years of high school." Su Jiaguang said nothing, his gaze fixed on the artwork as he carefully wrote a score on the judging sheet. After finishing, he looked up at the bulletin board with an admiring gaze and replied calmly, "Full marks, of course." Qin Yu gritted her teeth, seething with frustration and resentment. Qin Nim was just about to head outside when she bumped into Qin Yu. Qin Yu's gaze held little warmth as she looked at her older sister. Qin Nim, utterly nonchalant, met her gaze with a challenging stare. She expertly twirled a pen between her fingers. Qin Yu, her face sour as a green plum, still refused to accept the outcome. Standing there, lost in thought, she fumed. "Impossible. Absolutely impossible. I know her. She's never learned to draw. There's no way she could have created that bulletin board." Su Jiaguang, after carefully examining the artwork on the bulletin board, couldn't help but feel a surge of admiration. "I only saw her draft yesterday, but I never expected the finished product to be this magnificent. It's even better than I anticipated. Perhaps she isn't as useless as I thought." After finishing the judging, the student council members hurried out. "Come on, let's go check the next class," one of the boys suggested. "I don't think we need to bother with the other classes," another chimed in. "None of them could possibly be better than Class 9's. After the bell rang, Class 9 buzzed with excited chatter about the mysterious bulletin board. "Hey guys," Ziran began, curiosity bubbling in her voice, turning to her desk mate. Nim, do you know who drew that?" Qin Nim, her face impassive, replied indifferently, "I don't know." Ziran suddenly remembered something and quickly pushed her completed homework towards Qin Nim. "All right, Nim, I finished yesterday's homework. You can copy it." Qin Nim, touched by her desk mate's kindness, couldn't refuse, simply giving a soft in acknowledgement. Su Jiaguang, sitting behind them, observed Qin Nim intently. When he saw her writing with her left hand, a flicker of doubt crossed his mind. "I clearly saw her drawing with her right hand yesterday." Meanwhile, Xiao Qing, preparing to leave, turned to Su Jiaguang. "Hey, Su, I'm going to the convenience store. Do you need anything?" Su Jiaguang responded abruptly, "I'll go with you." As they stepped out of the classroom, they ran into Qin Yu. Plastering on a saccharine smile, she asked, "Are you two going to the convenience store?" "What a coincidence. I was just heading there too. Why don't we go together?" Xiao Qing, giving Qin Yu a knowing look, muttered under his breath, "Coincidence, my foot. She's obviously waiting for Su." Just then, a few boys walked past Qin Yu, chatting amongst themselves. "Hey, did you hear? Apparently, Class 9's bulletin board is amazing. They say it's Yin Tichi." Qin Yu's expression darkened. Xiao Qing, beaming with pride, turned to Su Jiaguang. "If I could meet and befriend the master who drew that bulletin board, I'd do anything. I have to admit, that artwork is totally my style." Qin Yu, quick to sow discord, steered the conversation in a different direction. "Yeah, I agree. That person is incredibly talented. They must be from another school. Otherwise, why wouldn't they claim credit?" Su Jiaguang spoke up, his voice firm. "They're not from another school. The artist is one of our students." He paused, then continued. "Qin Nim drew it." The name surprised not only Qin Yu, but Xiao Qing as well. Xiao Qing, after a moment of stunned silence, pointed a finger at his head and said to his friend, "Su, stop joking around." Seeing the seriousness in Su Jiaguang's expression, Xiao Qing immediately realized this was no laughing matter. "Wait, Qin Nim really drew it?" Su Jiaguang replied with absolute certainty, "Yes, it was her." Qin Yu lowered her head, lost in thought. How could it possibly be Qin Nim? Besides playing the violin, she wasn't good at anything. This was simply impossible. Xiao Qing, on the other hand, was practically vibrating with excitement, desperate to rush back and find his goddess. "Hey, Ziran, I'm going back to find Qin. Su Jiaguang didn't try to stop him. Go ahead. When the two were alone, Qin Yu offered a saccharine smile. Young Master Qiao is certainly impatient, isn't he? Oh, by the way, I'll be practicing a new piece on the violin this afternoon. You should come and watch. Xiao Qing ran all the way back to the classroom, his face flushed and sweat beading on his forehead from his exertion. He stood beside a desk, looking down at the girl, sleeping soundly, a nervous flutter in his chest. Should I wake her? He wondered. The way he looked at Qin was the look of a man smitten. The sight of Qin's peaceful, sleepy face sent Xiao Qing's heart racing even faster than before, especially after hearing that she was the artist behind the class's bulletin board masterpiece. He'd rushed back to the classroom just to gaze upon the goddess of his heart. The noise in the classroom roused Qin from her slumber. She lifted her head, sleepily rubbing her face, and grumbled, seriously so loud. As her eyes focused, she saw Xiao Qing standing by her desk, looking like he was about to salute the flag. Okay, leave Ji Ran to me, he declared, then turned and bellowed at his classmates. Keep it down. Can't you see you're disturbing our Ji Ran? The entire class instantly fell silent, no one daring to utter a peep. Now that peace had returned, Qin laid her head back down on her desk to resume her nap. Xiao Qing pulled up a chair beside her and sat down, quietly admiring his goddess. This was probably the first time he'd been this close to Qin. He took in every detail of her face, not missing a single feature. A blush crept up Xiao Qing's cheeks as he gazed at Qin, his heart pounding in his chest. No wonder everyone secretly calls her the eyelash queen, he thought, continuing to admire her. She's beautiful, and she can draw. How can someone be so perfect? After a while, Qin finally woke up, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Noticing Xiao Qing still there, she asked curiously, "Is something the matter?" Xiao Qing hesitated, unsure whether to ask, but finally, he couldn't contain himself. That painting, was it? Qin immediately understood what he was referring to and cut him off, placing a finger to her lips. Sure, I did draw it, but don't tell anyone, okay? It'll be a hassle. Xiao Qing, looking slightly dazed, nodded vigorously. Okay, I promise I'll keep his secret. But, Jiran, why did you draw Yin Ti? Do you like him? Qin found the question amusing. No one knew Yin Ti's true identity except her. With a slight pout, she replied, "Who would like that guy? Lin Si Ran likes him, that's all." Seeing Qin's incredibly cool demeanor, Xiao Qing's admiration for her intensified. He thought to himself, she dares to call a famous idol that thing, and still helps the class representative with the bulletin board. No matter how you look at it, she's the reason the class won first prize for the bulletin board this time. The school's new belle is truly a straightforward, good person. Xiao Qing chuckled and replied, "Don't worry, I get now." The scene shifted to the infirmary. Seeing the increasing number of male students coming in for checkups, Lu Jing Zhao couldn't help but turn to Cheng Xian and say, "I don't understand why so many boys have been coming to the infirmary lately." He craned his neck, trying to peek at something. Cheng Xian, could it be your charm has increased to the point that even boys can't resist you anymore? Cheng Xian didn't reply. He simply tilted his chin toward a certain girl who was being handed a letter by a male student. The girl simply shook her head slightly. An aura of confidence radiated from her, easily capturing the attention of those around her. The boy who was rejected, far from being angry, seemed even more captivated than before. Lu Jing Zhao finally realized why so many boys were visiting the infirmary. Oh, so it's because Qin is here. I've finally met someone as popular as you. Cheng Xian glared at his friend in response. He then quickly walked towards where Qin was standing. Seeing his serious expression, she asked with a touch of concern, "What's wrong? Is something the matter?" He stared at her for a moment before replying, a hint of jealousy lacing his voice. "I think the 12th grade is very important. I believe the most important task is to focus on studying diligently and not be distracted by other things." Qin, being intelligent, understood the underlying meaning of his words. "Thank you. I think so too." Cheng Xian's expression softened, a smile gracing his lips. He gazed at her intently and then instructed his friend, Lu Jing Zhao, go close the door. As usual, Qin quickly finished preparing dinner. Looking at the dishes before her, she sat silently, prompting Cheng Xian to follow her gaze. After a moment, she sighed softly. Cheng Xian, feeling a mix of impatience and concern, asked, "What's wrong?" Qin didn't hide her troubles. "This Saturday, the class has a parent-teacher meeting, but my grandmother is still in the hospital." Seeing her saddened face, he offered words of comfort. comfort. Don't worry, your teacher knows about your family situation. Lu Jingzhao, sensing an opportunity to play the hero, scooted closer, smoothly adjusting his tie. He enthusiastically offered, "Qin, I could be your dad for the day." Qin, resting her chin in her hand thoughtfully, replied, "You're a bit too young to be my dad. Maybe my older brother would be more believable." Inwardly, she sighed. Forget it. Why am I even discussing this with them? Let's pack up and go. After cleaning up the dishes, Qin stood up to leave. Before going, she didn't forget to bid farewell to Cheng Xian and Lu Jingzhao. "I'm leaving. Bye-bye, you two." When only the two of them remained in the infirmary, Cheng Xian turned, a murderous look on his face, and interrogated his friend. "Why have I never heard that the decisive and strict Lu Jingzhao of Beijing is actually such a flirt?" Seeing Cheng Xian's aggressive, almost predatory demeanor, Lu Jingzhao paled and beads of sweat formed on his forehead. He stammered out an explanation. Stop it, Cheng Xian. It's all a misunderstanding. No matter how beautiful Qin is, I'm not interested in her. It's just, the atmosphere was a bit stiff, so I just said it casually. Cheng Xian's expression softened slightly when he saw his friend didn't have any ulterior motives towards Qin. Thinking about Qin's family situation, he sighed, feeling sympathy for her. Her family situation is really rough. He felt a sudden pang of heartache for Qin. She had spoken so casually earlier, but for some reason, it had made him feel strangely uncomfortable. Hearing the pitter-patter of rain against the window pane, Cheng Xian and his close friend turned to look. "Oh, it's raining," Cheng Xian remarked. Lu Jingzhao's gaze drifted down to the schoolyard. He unconsciously asked, "Cheng Xian, do you need me to take an umbrella to Qin?" "Oh, look," Lu Jingzhao exclaimed, spotting Feng Mingyu walking towards Qin from the opposite direction, umbrella in hand. Qin also noticed Feng Mingyu, a section of her clothes already dampened by the rain. Qin shook her head, thinking, this girl really is like a bookworm, only cares about her books. Dressed so lightly and getting soaked by the rain, if she doesn't seem to mind. So, Qin took the initiative to walk over and hold the umbrella for Feng Mingyu. "Let me hold it," she offered. "Lin Si Ran probably told you I work at the infirmary, right?" Feng Mingyu was startled by the direct question, but quickly replied, "Ah, yes. I was planning to return some books, and I was also worried you didn't have an umbrella." Having Qin hold the umbrella for her filled Feng Mingyu with joy. She wished time could stop right there and then. It had been so many years since they had walked side by side like this. Being able to be next to Qin again felt wonderful. After Qin reached her dormitory area, she returned the umbrella to Feng Mingyu, not forgetting to turn back and remind her, "I'm going in. Don't stay in the library too late." Feng Mingyu replied happily, I know." Suddenly, Feng Mingyu's phone in her skirt pocket buzzed with an incoming message. As soon as she checked it, her expression changed. After a moment of hesitation, she followed the address sent in the message. Feng Mingyu, umbrella in hand, walked toward a small alley near the school to meet Feng Zi. Upon seeing her arrive, Feng Zi immediately approached and asked, "Why did you move out of the Feng family home?" Feng Mingyu averted her gaze, offering a flimsy excuse. "It's because it's my senior year now, so I want to focus more on my studies." Feng Zi clearly saw through the lie. He smirked and said, "If you don't want to tell me, don't lie to me." Feeling Feng Zi's intense gaze on her, Feng Mingyu froze for a moment. Her grip on the umbrella tightened. She quickly made an excuse to escape the confrontation. I have to go back now." With that, she quickly turned to leave. But Feng Zi was quicker. He swiftly grabbed her hand that held the umbrella. The umbrella was abandoned, falling to the ground in the drizzling rain. Feng Zi suddenly embraced Feng Mingyu from behind, his voice laced with reproach. "It's been months since I last saw you. I finally managed to come back, and you're treating me so coldly?" Feng Mingyu's face filled with anxiety as Feng Zi's face drew closer to hers. She stammered, I. Feng Zi cut her off before she could finish, demanding, "Are you rejecting me because of my father?" Feng Zi turned Feng Mingyu around to face him, his hand stroking her chin. His eyes darkened as he asked, "What's your relationship with my father? Could you actually be his illegitimate child?" Feng Mingyu trembled under Feng Zi's intense gaze. Fear and tension gripped her as she clenched her fists. Feng Zi paused, noticing her reaction. a thoughtful expression crossing his face. After a moment, he released her, feigning nonchalance. Just kidding. Let me take you home. Feng Ming, you didn't reply. She bent down to pick up her umbrella. Once her emotions had settled somewhat, she began to think. She had assumed he was looking for her to attend a parent-teacher meeting on her behalf. Unexpectedly, without a word, Feng Mingyu turned and walked away. Feng Zi watched her retreating figure intently. She's never mentioned her parents, not even once, he thought, suspicion creeping into his mind. She was bullied before, wasn't she? But my father seems to be deliberately hiding something about that. Walking in the rain, Feng Mingyu's heart ached with guilt. It's all my fault, she berated herself. Because of me, Uncle Feng's family isn't happy. She recalled the time she had lived with Feng Zi's family. Standing at the bottom of the stairs, she had overheard their argument. How can father blame mother for being angry? Out of the blue, he brought someone home and treated her so well. Isn't it normal for mother to be upset with her? Mr. Feng had tried to explain calmly. I was asked to help her, that's all. But Feng Zi remained unconvinced, pressing him further. Asked by whom? Tell me, is she your first love's daughter, or your illegitimate child? Mr. Feng had snapped angrily. Be quiet. Principal 2 asked me to take care of her. You don't need to know anything else. Feng Zi refused to accept this explanation. Even if her parents are dead, she must have other relatives. Why does she have to be under your care? Hearing this argument that day had shattered Feng Mingyu's heart, leaving her feeling utterly desolate. Back in the present, Feng Mingyu's gaze drifted into the distance. I just need to get into university, she murmured to herself. Then I won't cause any more trouble for Principal 2 and Uncle Feng. The scene shifted to the Lin family home. Lin Jinxian stood at the bottom of the stairs, listening to the piano music drifting from Qin Yu's room. Ever since she had mentioned the master and Jing looking for a disciple, Yu had been practicing even more diligently. Suddenly, the melody changed. Lin Jinxian listened, stunned by the surprising shift. This melody, Lin Jinxian couldn't resist hurrying towards Qin Yu's room. Qin Yu, oblivious to his presence, frowned at her piano playing. Not good enough, she muttered to herself. This level is far from sufficient. I can't even imagine how talented the original composer of this piece must have been. Suddenly, Lin Jinxian's voice broke through her concentration. Qin Yu, startled, she quickly plastered a smile on her face and turned to him. Brother, why are you back? He approached, looking at his younger sister with approval. Your violin skills have improved considerably. You just need to manage your emotions a bit better and practice more. Qin Yu beamed, laying the flattery on thick. Thank you, brother. This is a piece I composed myself, but it still needs some work. If you're not busy, could I ask you a few questions? Secretly, she preened. Lin Jinxian has played the violin since he was a child. His musical ability is far superior to mine. This is the first time he's ever praised me directly. This is amazing. Lin Jinxian, surprised, echoed her words. You composed this yourself? He was filled with skepticism. The melody he'd just heard was distinctly different from Qin Yu's previous compositions. This piece had a breadth of artistic conception and form that seemed incongruous with her usual style. Unaware of his doubts, Qin Yu continued her charade. Well, brother, I heard that the masters in Beijing prefer students with a flair to create original pieces, so I wanted to give it a try. Ning Qing entered with tea and pastries, finding the two siblings chatting amicably. What are you two talking about? She asked, setting down the refreshments. I brought you a late-night snack. Qin Yu quickly responded, Oh, it's nothing, mother. Brother was just giving me some pointers on the violin. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. Oh, that's right, mother, she said, feigning casualness. You mentioned a parent-teacher meeting this Saturday. Are you planning to attend Qin Nim's meeting? Before Ning Qing could answer, Qin Yu looped her arm through Lin Jinxian's and, without missing a beat, continued. If you're going to Qin Nim's meeting, could you ask brother or father to attend mine? Would that be all right? She reasoned inwardly that having her brother or father attend her meeting would elevate her status. Lin Jinxian, taken aback by her presumption, remained silent. Ning Qing considered for a moment before replying. No, they're both very busy. I'll ask your aunt to attend Qin Nim's meeting, and I'll go to yours. She suspected Qin Nim would be the subject of the homeroom teacher's criticism, and attending her meeting would only bring embarrassment. It was better to bask in Qin Yu's reflected glory. Saturday arrived quickly. Early in the morning, a multitude of parents flocked to the school for the parent-teacher meetings. Qin Yu, arm in arm with Ning Qing, strode towards her classroom. a smug smile playing on her lips. Seeing this mother and daughter, several parents couldn't help but sing their praises. Qin Yu's in the top 10 of the class again this term. Mrs. Lin has certainly raised her well. Another parent, glancing disapprovingly at her own son, chimed in, Qin Yu is not only beautiful, but she plays the violin and excels in her studies. Look at you, you good for nothing. The scolded student, tense and miserable, didn't dare utter a word. Qin Yu, approaching, spotted Xiao Qing. He was excitedly telling his mother, let me introduce you to my goddess. Maybe she'll be your daughter-in-law someday. Xiao Qing then launched into a detailed account of Qin Ran's accomplishments. Let me tell you, Mom, she's amazing. She won first place in the annual bulletin board design competition with her painting. Oh, and she also stood up for the girls in her class against those bullies at school. My goddess has such a strong sense of justice. His mother, exasperated by his gushing, interrupted, slow down, boy. It's not like Qin Ran is going to run away. Suddenly, a girl dashed past, bumping into Ning Qing and startling her. Hey, watch where you're going, the girl called out, still running, her voice full of excitement. Come on, come on. I heard Qin Ran's brother is here for the parent-teacher meeting today. If Qin Ran is that beautiful, her brother must be incredibly handsome too. But when Ning Qing and Qin Yu heard the familiar name, their faces fell. Qin Ran's brother? Ning Qing asked suspiciously. Do you know of another Qin Ran? After receiving a shake of the head from Qin Yu, they both quickly entered the classroom for the meeting. Sitting inside, Ning Qing's mind raced with the news of someone attending the meeting for Qin Ran. I called Qin Ran several times last night, but she didn't answer. And now, where did this brother come from? And since when did she become the school beauty? Ning Qing's wandering thoughts were interrupted by the voice of a parent beside her. Mr. Li was praising your Yuer again, Mrs. Lin. You've raised such a well-behaved daughter. Ning Qing beamed, replying modestly, oh, it's all Yuer's own hard work. The commotion of students nearby caught Ning Qing's attention, and she followed their gaze. Isn't that young Master Qiao? Who's the girl with him? A student nearby explained, that's the school beauty. Wow, her icy demeanor is just like they said on the school forum. Xiao Qing trailed after Qin Ran, who walked ahead, arms crossed, her face impassive. Ranjia, Xiao Qing asked, why have I never heard you mention your brother before? Is he your older brother or a cousin? Everywhere Qin Ran went, students parted, her presence commanding attention. Both boys and girls watched her, captivated. The lady standing next to Ning Qing quickly recognized Xiao Qing. Astonished, she exclaimed, that's young Master Qiao. I heard he's only close with young Master Fu. Could he be interested in that girl? Ning Qing overheard this, equally surprised. Her jaw dropped as she thought, Qin Ran? How could she be connected to the Qiao family? The Qiao family was the leading clan in Yuncheng, their business ventures reaching even Beijing and overseas. Madame Xiao was a socialite from Beijing herself. Ning Qing felt a pang of regret about her earlier decision. She had originally thought attending the parent-teacher meeting for Qin Ran would be embarrassing. Had she known this, she would have come herself. After class, teacher Gao handed Cheng Jun a transcript. Qin Ran's parents apologized for wasting your time and troubling you to stay behind. Please take this. Handing over the transcript, teacher Gao kindly added, Qin Ran is quite intelligent. I hope her parents will pay more attention to her. Cheng Jun took the transcript, curious about its contents. Teacher Gao felt strangely nervous. Qin Ran's parents possessed an even more distinguished air than Xiao Qing's. They were polite, yet their presence made him tense. He offered, if the family cooperates with me to guide her, she will certainly achieve high scores in the upcoming exams. Cheng Jun smiled, picturing Qin Ran. He really should pay more attention to her. He paused, then thought, receiving so many love letters every day must be quite bothersome. Teacher Gao noticed someone entering and looked up. Is something the matter? I just finished speaking with Qin Ran's parents. It was Xiao Qing, his father, and Qin Ran. Xiao Qing smiled. It's nothing, teacher. I accompanied Qin Ran to wait for her brother. Cheng Jun quickly tucked the transcript into his jacket and politely said, Teacher Gao, see you next time. Xiao Qing, observing Cheng Jun's impressive demeanor, couldn't help but ask, are you Qin Ran's older brother? Cheng Jun's gaze was deep and cool as he replied, I'm not her brother. A sense of foreboding washed over Xiao Qing. He trembled, fearing Cheng Jun might steal Qin Ran away. He stammered, Then are you? Chung Jun didn't answer, only smiled faintly, leaving Xiao Qing to his own assumptions. He glanced back, offering a simple goodbye. Xiao Qing and his mother stood there, feeling awkward. Xiao Qing's face was a mask of disappointment. Qin Ran suddenly offered him a bottle of water. I bought this for you. Chung Jun accepted it with a smile. Thank you. The car is outside. Let me take you to the hospital. Watching Qin Ran walk away, Xiao Qing turned to his mother, irritated. Mom, why did you pinch me just now? That hurt. Mother Xiao seemed to have realized Chung Jun's identity. She shook her head, telling her son, don't bother with her anymore. There's no future for you, and Qin Ran. She started to say something more, then stopped. Forget it, just know that much. Her gaze lingered on Chung Jun's retreating figure. That back, it looks familiar. Could it be him? But why would he be in Yincheng? Chung Jun quickly drove Qin Ran to the hospital where her grandmother was being treated. Before she got out of the car, he reminded her, call me before you come down. I'll be waiting for you in the building opposite the inpatient ward. Qin Ran simply hummed in agreement, then quickly got out of the car. Before leaving, she didn't look back, only giving Chung Jun a small wave. A smile spread across Chung Jun's face. He thought, she's still as cool as ever. Only when Qin Ran was gone did Chung Jun slowly take out the notebook teacher Gao had given him earlier. Actually, there wasn't anything for him to do at the hospital today, but he deliberately brought her along, saying it was on his way to take Qin Ran there. Chung Jun didn't understand what he was thinking. Oh well, he thought, while I'm waiting for her, reading the observation diary will be quite interesting. So, he quickly flipped through the pages, reading each one. After arriving at her grandmother's room, Qin Ran found her aunt's family already there. The icy expression she usually wore softened. Only when she was with her grandmother did she feel truly at ease. She walked over and politely said, Grandma, I've come to see you. Hearing her voice, her grandmother turned around, her face lighting up. Ran, you're here. Come sit down. Qin Ran's aunt also greeted her warmly. Grandma's been missing you so much. She was just talking about you. After Qin Ran sat down, her grandmother retrieved something from a nearby table. Your mother brought these over. Keep them safe. Don't throw them away. Qin Ran took the items and realized it was the sheet music she had casually written and then discarded. Seeing her indifference towards the score, her grandmother furrowed her brow. Ran, she said, her voice firm, don't just listen to what I say, actually do it. Keep this safe. Don't throw it away. Qin Ran's cousin, intrigued by her grandmother's concern for the music, came over and asked, Cousin, what is that? Qin Ran nonchalantly tucked the sheet music into her pocket. It's nothing. She took her grandmother's hand and reassured her. Grandma, I'm doing very well at school. Don't worry about me. As they chatted, Ning Qing arrived. Mom, we're here. Seeing that Ning Qing had come alone, her grandmother asked, Where's Yuer? Ning Qing quickly offered an excuse for Qinyu. Yuer is busy practicing the violin. Her private tutor found her a world-class teacher, and she's been working very hard to be accepted as a student. Qin Ran's aunt's daughter chimed in. Second cousin is so talented. Ning Qing, practically bursting with pride, sat down and continued to boast. Yes, I heard that when he returns to Beijing after his world tour, Yuer will become his student. Qin Ran's aunt's son, peeling an apple, thought to himself, that master will surely test her skills before deciding whether to accept her or not. She talks as if it's a done deal. She's really good at bragging. Hearing this, Qin Ran's grandmother glanced at Qin Ran, a thought crossing her mind. Ran also used to. She stopped herself and turned back to Ning Qing. Which master does Yuer want to study with? Ning Qing, feeling immensely proud, replied, Master Wei Lin. I'm sure you've never heard of him. Even those in high society might not have access to a world-class master like him. She then muttered to herself, Actually, I only just heard about him from Lin Wei. After hearing the name Wei Lin, Qin Ran's grandmother froze, a look of bewilderment on her face. She seemed lost in thought. Seeing her strange reaction, Ning Qing asked, puzzled, Mom, what's wrong? Stroking her chin, Qin Ran's grandmother murmured, Wei Lin, that name sounds a little familiar. Qin Ran, fearing her grandmother might reveal something crucial, quickly darted towards her cousins and snatched a freshly cut apple slice. Under the bewildered gazes of everyone present, she returned to her grandmother and, in a smooth motion, popped the apple into the older woman's mouth. Grandma, eat the apple. Startled by Qin Ran's actions, her grandmother paused, then hummed in agreement, quickly taking a bite. Ning Qing breathed a sigh of relief. Without further thought, she said, Oh, is that so? Maybe it's just someone with a similar name to your mother's friend. Qin Ran, feeling weary, excused herself. Grandma, I'll head back to school now. Her grandmother, the woman who had raised her, watched her with a questioning look. Her grandmother's face softened into a smile. All right, go on then. Study hard. I'm really hoping you get into university. Qin Ran's eyes held a firm resolve as she promised. Yes, I definitely will. Qin Ran gave a brief nod to her aunt and quickly left, not sparing Ning Qing a single glance. Lying in her hospital bed, her grandmother pondered, her mind awash with questions. That year, a gentleman came to Ninghai village from Beijing. After staying for a month, he wanted to take Ran as a student. His name, it seems it was Wei Lin. Not long after Qin Ran's departure, Ning Qing followed after her. Why didn't you tell me about your parent-teacher meeting today? Qin Ran replied indifferently. You were busy. Is there anything else? Ning Qing immediately probed. How are you getting along with your classmates? I heard that young Master Qiao is quite close to you. Qin Ran's patience with her mother seemed to wear thin. It's all right, she responded flatly. If there's nothing else, I'll be going. You stay with Grandma. Inwardly, Qin Ran scoffed. It's laughable. I've been at school for so long, and now she remembers to ask about me. Ning Qing watched Qin Ran's retreating figure, her mind racing with calculations. I must make some inquiries. If the Qiao family's young master is interested in Qin Ran, then I'll... Qin Ran hadn't called Cheng Jun as he'd asked, afraid to disturb him. But as she reached the hospital gates, she saw his car already parked there, a sight that caught her off guard. Realization dawned on Qin Ran. She understood his on-the-way excuse to give her a ride. A wave of warmth washed over her, and a small smile touched her lips. Cheng Jun spotted her and quickly lowered his window, his gaze softening as he said, "Baby, get in." The car sped away from the hospital. Seeing Cheng Jun's car stop, a burly young man wearing sunglasses emerged, a cheerful grin on his face. Master Jun is finally back. The young man in sunglasses stood at attention and reported formally. Master Jun, the results of the investigation. His words trailed off as he saw a slender, elegant female hand push open the car door. Qin Ran emerged, an aura of cool confidence surrounding her as she walked towards the building. The young man gaped in astonishment, as if witnessing something unprecedented. He stammered, "A girl?" Qin Ran glanced at him as she passed, her expression impassive, further amplifying her imposing presence. The young man continued to exclaim internally. A girl got out of Master Jun's car. This is the first time in history. Oh my God! Qin Ran brushed a stray strand of hair from her face, her voice soft as she addressed Cheng Jun. Thanks for tonight. I'll make dinner. He nodded, a faint blush rising on his cheeks. See you tonight. He then turned sharply to the young man in sunglasses. Cheng Mu, did you bring what I asked? Cheng Mu, startled, stammered, Yes, I brought it. His eyes, however, remained fixed on Qin Ran. Good heavens, who is that girl? She's incredibly aloof. She doesn't even seem to care about young Master Cheng. Back in her dorm room, Qin Ran sat on her bed and opened her laptop. Her associate, seeing her online, quickly typed a message. Whoa, you finally contacted me. Are you feeling better now? Can you take a case? Qin Ran's slender fingers flew across the keyboard. I think I just received a multi-million-dollar order a few days ago, right? That one was unexpected. I might be able to take other cases next month. Her associate was overjoyed. Really? You disappeared for over a year. I was afraid you were leaving the detective agency for good. You're our ace, our veteran wolf. Qin Ran typed back modestly. You think too highly of me. I'm just short on cash right now. Oh, is that so? Well, as long as you take the case, anything goes. By the way, you mentioned coming to Beijing, right? When will you arrive? Qin Ran sighed and typed. Something came up. It'll probably be next year. A little background on the detective agency our protagonist is part of. The 129 Detective Agency is headquartered in Beijing. Rumor has it, this organization has connections to the dark web, whether it's across borders or across countries. As long as they're involved, any case, any information will be brought to light. The 129 Detective Agency is also notoriously difficult to join. Even seasoned professionals flock to it, so the competition is fierce. Qin Ran's alias within the agency is Lavone Group. She's also a veteran member of the 129 Detective Agency. Since joining 4 years ago, she has maintained a 100% success rate on all her missions. Her true identity remains a mystery within the organization. After finishing her chat, Qin Ran realized it was time for her part-time job. She closed her laptop. Time to go cook for him at the infirmary. Inside the infirmary, Lin Jingchen was leisurely playing League of Legends' office. Qin Ran entered the kitchen, carrying a stack of bowls. Cheng Mu, still lingering, approached Lin Jingchun. Where did young Master Chung go? Lin Jingchun, engrossed in his game, replied indifferently. He went to find the principal. Chung Mu leaned in and whispered, "The team has news." Before he could finish, Lin Jingchun cut him off. "No need to investigate." Chung Mu, confused, blurted out, "Why not?" Just then, Chung Jun strolled in casually and announced, "Because we've found LV." Qin Ran, standing nearby, froze, startled by the conversation. She coughed, dropping the bowls in her hands. They shattered on the floor with a loud crash. She stared at the broken shards, unsure what to do. Hearing the noise, Chung Jun rushed out to see what had happened. Qin Ran, regaining her composure, quietly knelt down to pick up the pieces. Chung Jun, concerned, joined her. "Don't move. Let me handle it." Qin Ran shook her head, her voice soft. "It's okay. I can do it." A flicker of unease ran through Qin Ran when she heard Chung Jun say they had found the double LV. Could they have actually tracked her down? Suppressing her agitation, she went down to the kitchen to cook. Very quickly, a sumptuous meal was spread out on the table. Qin Ran ate sparingly and finished quickly. Seeing her about to leave, Chung Jun spoke up. Ran, wait a moment. I have something for you." He walked over to the table, picked up a workbook, and handed it to her. "Master Chow asked me to oversee your studies, so I brought you some practice books. Take them back and have a look." Qin Ran stared blankly at the workbook in his hand. I don't need them." Chung Jun's expression suddenly turned serious. He leaned closer, his gaze intense. "No, you must. I promised Master Chow I would take care of you." Qin Ran felt a sudden surge of tension at his close proximity. Finally, she conceded defeat and accepted the workbook. "Fine, I understand." Lin Jingchun, sensing the awkwardness, let out a teasing laugh. Haha, little Ran, are you just going to copy the answers to avoid trouble?" Seeing their expressions turn serious again, and both of them looking at him, Lin Jingchun quickly backpedaled. All right, I was wrong. I'll be quiet, okay." But he still sulked, turning away and muttering to himself. Who would have thought Chung Jun would make such a fuss over some study materials? The people in Beijing must think they're fighting over some top-secret files. Chung Mu, brimming with curiosity, whispered, "Sixth young master, who is that girl?" Lin Jingchun whispered back, "Don't provoke her if you know what's good for you. That's the young master's sweetheart." Chung Mu stroked his chin thoughtfully. "There are so many women pursuing Chung Jun in Beijing, even my goddess. Yet, they can't compare to a high school student. Well, it's true that none of them are as pretty as her." After finishing her errands, Qin Ran returned to her classroom. She bumped into her desk mate and walked with her. Ran, hurry up. Those study materials are selling like hotcakes. If we're late, they'll be all gone." Her friend suddenly remembered something and turned to Qin Ran excitedly. "All right, Ran, I heard Wei Zihong is transferring to our school soon." Qin Ran simply responded with an "oh." She recalled receiving a text from him about this. As Qin Ran walked, she overheard Qin Yu's voice behind her. "Auntie, are you here to see Principal too?" Qin Yu was walking with her Aunt Lin, heading towards the school. "Yes, but I only met his assistant." Aunt Lin reassured herself internally. Even in Beijing, so many people are lining up to see Mr. Tuesday. It's normal that I couldn't meet him today. It's all right, I'll come and greet him another time. Just then, she saw a luxurious car pull up. The license plate looked familiar. A Beijing license plate? Is that Principal Tu's car? The car stopped when the driver saw Qin Ran. Qin Ran also recognized him and casually greeted him. "Hello, Principal Tuesday." Qin Ran's words made Qin Yu and Aunt Lin break out in a cold sweat. They both exclaimed, "It really is Principal Tu's car?" Principal Tu lowered the car window, his eyes friendly as he looked at Qin Ran. "Are you going out to eat? If so, hop in. Let's have lunch together." Qin Ran quickly declined. "Thank you, Principal Tu, but my classmate and I still need to buy some study materials. Let's do it another time." Principal Tu didn't press the matter, nodding in agreement. Before they left, he added, "All right then, you two should head back to the dorm early." After Principal Tu left, Qin Ran's classmate's heart was still pounding. Witnessing Qin Ran's cool and collected exchange with the principal had left her shaken. Ran, that was Principal Tu. Aren't you worried?" she asked, incredulous. Qin Ran's reply was short and to the point. "He's gone." Qin Yu, who had been watching from behind, felt a surge of annoyance. "Let's go," she snapped. Principal Tu is probably just concerned about the transfer student. She glanced back at Qin Ran, her gaze lingering. "Yeah, all right." Qin Yu suddenly felt a pang of unease. "I must be overthinking it," she muttered to herself. How could someone like Principal Tu be interested in a wild child like Qin Ran? After successfully purchasing the study materials, Qin Ran's classmate was practically bouncing with joy. She struck a dramatic pose. "Oh my God, Ran. We were so lucky to snag the last 2 copies. That was close." As they passed a nearby alley, they noticed a group of boys surrounding a girl. "Long time no see," one of the boys said. "Judging by that uniform, you're studying at First High, aren't you?" Qin Ran's eyes swept over the group of boys. She had a natural aversion to bullies who acted like they owned the world. Her classmate tugged nervously at her sleeve. Ran, she whispered. "Let's go back and get security." The girl surrounded by the boys was Feng Mingyue. She was trembling with fear, unsure how to escape. One of the boys, a particularly thuggish-looking one, stepped forward and sneered. "Feng Mingyue, you hurt me like that, and you dare to show your face at First High like nothing happened?" Another boy chimed in. "Haha, Sue, be careful not to damage that pretty face of hers." Qin Ran's classmate gasped, covering her mouth with her hand. "I think that's Mingyue," she said, her voice filled with alarm. Without hesitation, Qin Ran tossed her books to her friend, who caught them with a startled look. Ran, what are you doing?" she asked, bewildered. Qin Ran's face was impassive as she looked towards the group of boys. "Hold these for me," she said curtly. Her classmate, Ran, clenched her teeth in worry. Turning and striding towards the alley, Qin Ran called back. "Don't do anything stupid. I'll go back to school and get security. I'll be back soon." Qin Ran didn't reply. She continued walking purposefully towards the alley. "Grandma," she thought to herself, "I promised you I'd study hard and be a good person, but I can't just stand by and watch someone get hurt." Inside the alley, Feng Mingyue was trembling as one of the boys yanked her hair. The sound of approaching footsteps grew closer. The leader of the group turned to see who it was. Seeing that it was just a girl, he snarled, "What are you looking at?" Qin Ran didn't answer. A chilling smile played on her lips, as if signaling the boy's impending doom. Looking at the group of delinquents, disgust flashed in her eyes. "I'm sorry, Grandma," she thought. "I have to break my promise to you. I can't be a good person anymore." 2 clueless punks swaggered up to Qin Ran, taunting her. "Hey, another pretty face offering herself up. Hith. Doesn't feel quite the same as the one inside, though. Might as well give this one a try." Qin Ran radiated a chilling aura. Her voice was glacial. "Su Shun, do you remember me telling you to avoid me?" Oblivious to the impending danger, the 2 small fries sneered. "Ooh la la, you know, Shun? Perfect. Let's all play together. You're not as jealous X, are you?" As Qin Ran approached, the one with a shaved head practically drooled. He reached out a hand, his eyes glazed over. "Haha, let me check you out." Before his fingers could graze a single strand of Qin Ran's hair, his face exploded with the impact of her lightning-fast fist. Her movements were precise and brutal, leaving him only enough breath to gasp, "Damn." His companion, finally realizing Qin Ran was no delicate flower, roared in fury and swung his own fist. "You bitch, take this." His punch stopped 3 centimeters from Qin Ran's face. With a fluid, almost effortless movement, she swayed back, dodging the attack. Seizing the opportunity, she counterattacked, effortlessly catching his wrist in one hand. A soft crack echoed in the air as she tightened her grip. Qin Ran's eyes were like a predator's. Without a flicker of hesitation, she twisted his arm back, his face contorting in agony as sweat poured down his cheeks. "Let go. You're breaking my arm," he shrieked. With a sharp shove, Qin Ran sent him sprawling face first onto the ground. She turned her attention to the remaining 3. Feng Mingyue, seeing her rescuer, beamed with relief. The remaining thugs, however, were visibly unnerved by Qin Ran's display of power. One pointed at her, shouting, "If you take another step closer, I won't hold back." Without a word, Qin Ran sidestepped him and lunged for the leader, snatching the sickle from his grip. Feng Mingyue, witnessing her reckless move, cried out, Ran. Qin Ran's aura intensified, completely overwhelming the leader. He released the sickle and stumbled backward, pressing himself against the wall. Qin Ran twirled the sickle in her hand, then casually tossed it aside. It clattered on the ground. Seeing Qin Ran unarmed, the leader smirked. He blocked her path and barked at his remaining lackeys. "Get back. Watch Feng Mingyue." Spotting a rock nearby, he quickly scooped it up. He preened, confident in his perceived advantage. Qin Ran, I won't lose to you like I did in Ninghai Town. Today, I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget." As he cackled, Qin Ran swiftly retreated, gathering momentum. Then, with a lightning-fast kick from her long legs, she sent him flying. Her moves weren't just cool, they were breathtakingly beautiful. The impact of her long legs sent one of the boys sprawling, blood spraying from his mouth. Seeing their leader crumpled on the ground, the two thugs guarding Feng Mingyue hesitantly approached him, concerned. "Sushan, are you all right?" Even Feng Mingyue was stunned, witnessing Qin Ran's furious display. Qin Ran swiftly shifted her focus to the remaining two. Seeing her approach, one of them stumbled backward. Putting on a brave front, he blustered, "What do you want?" Qin Ran didn't bother with words. With a single hand, she grabbed the boy's face, her grip like iron. Before the stunned boy could comprehend what was happening, Qin Ran slammed his head against the wall. She didn't stop there. Without a wasted movement, her long legs lashed out, catching the other thug squarely in the face. Having dealt with them all, Qin Ran slowly walked towards their leader, Sushan. His face darkened, and he gritted his teeth, spitting out her name, Qin Ran. Qin Ran's actions were decisive and brutal. She stepped on Sushan's arm, grinding her heel into it, twisting it back and forth. His screams echoed through the alley. A cold smile played on her lips as she addressed him. "Back in Ninghai Town, I warned you to stay away from Feng Mingyue. Why didn't you listen?" Suddenly, the wail of approaching police sirens pierced the air. Qin Ran frowned, glancing back. "Someone call the cops," she muttered. Meanwhile, back at the Qin family home, Qin Yu, wearing a saccharine-sweet expression, approached Ning Ting. "Mom," she said, "one of my classmates just texted me. It seems Qin Ran got into a fight, and she's been taken to the police station." Qin Yu stifled a triumphant giggle, thinking, "Qin Ran, oh Qin Ran, I knew you'd cause trouble. Ha ha." Ning Ting, who was in the middle of applying a clay mask, gasped, her eyes widening in alarm. "What? That girl is nothing but trouble. I'll go to the police station. Don't tell your father or your aunt yet." She quickly rinsed her face and rushed out, fuming. "That damn girl. Why is she always causing problems?" At the Yunqing Public Security Bureau, an officer held a stack of papers, reviewing the statements. "Qin Ran, is it? Tell me your parents' contact information and why you assaulted these people." Qin Ran leaned back in her chair, glancing indifferently at her right arm. "He annoyed me," she replied nonchalantly. The officer picked up another stack of papers. "The injury assessment report is here. You caused serious harm. Are you proud of yourself?" At that moment, a female officer burst through the door, sweat beading on her forehead. "Officer Lee," she reported, "the victim's family is here, but they—" Before she could finish, a shrill voice shrieked from the hallway, causing both Qin Ran and Officer Lee to look up. "Who dared to hurt my precious grandson? Where are they?" The female officer tried to intervene. "Ma'am, we haven't finished processing everything. Please calm down." The old woman cut her off. Furious, she bellowed, "Bring me the person who hurt my grandson." Ning Ting arrived at the station just then, rushing in and anxiously addressing the officer. "Hello, I'm Qin Ran's mother. Where's my daughter?" The officer replied coldly, "Right here. Is still being questioned inside." "But how could you, as a mother, raise your child like this?" Ning Ting seethed, bringing a hand to her mouth to gnaw at her nail. "This is so humiliating," she thought. "I don't even want to deal with this." The officer continued, "Your daughter refuses to admit any wrongdoing and isn't cooperating. If this continues, she'll be transferred to juvenile detention." Ning Ting's face paled in shock. She covered her mouth with her hand, stammering, This. Let me talk to her. Maybe I can convince her." As Ning Ting hurried down the hallway, she suddenly recognized the elderly woman. The realization drained the remaining color from her face. "Mrs. Su." No, it can't be such a coincidence. Could the person Qin Ran beat up be Mrs. Su's grandson? Ning Ting approached her tentatively. "Mrs. Su, do you remember me? My daughter took violin lessons with your son for a while." Mrs. Su finally looked at Ning Ting. "Oh, it's you." Ning Ting put on a remorseful expression. "Mrs. Su, whatever the issue is, we can discuss it calmly. How much money do you want?" Mrs. Su cut her off angrily. "Humph, who needs your money? You dare to hurt my grandson? I want your daughter in jail." Mrs. Su's face darkened with rage as she pulled out her phone. "Just you wait. I'm calling Director Shun right now." The officer standing nearby added, "Your daughter injured this woman's grandson quite badly. If she wants to contact our superiors, there's nothing I can do. You can go see your daughter now." Fuming, Ning Ting rushed to Qin Ran. Without even asking what happened, she barked, "Qin Ran." Hearing her mother's voice, Qin Ran turned around, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. "Why are you here?" she wondered. "Who told her to come?" "I already had this situation handled." Ning Ting launched into a tirade. "Your grades are already terrible, and now you dare to beat up Su Xin? Mr. Su has been so kind to you. Don't you feel any guilt? If they decide to press charges, your life will be ruined." Qin Ran simply responded with a nonchalant, "Oh, Seeing her daughter's uncooperative attitude, Ning Ting forced herself to suppress her anger. Come with me and apologize to Mrs. Su. It's best if they decide not to pursue this. If they do, she trailed off, muttering to herself, if they do, the Lin family's reputation will be completely dragged through the mud thanks to her. It might be better to just send her abroad, out of sight, out of mind. Ning Ting led the way out of the room. Qin ran, trailing slowly behind her. Ning Ting bowed slightly, forcing a smile. Mrs. Su, I'm so sorry. My daughter didn't mean to do it. Seeing Qin Ran standing there impassively, she pinched her daughter's waist, urging her to apologize. Qin Ran remained motionless, unresponsive. Mrs. Su's eyebrows furrowed in anger, determined not to let the matter drop. Apologies are useless now. My grandson is still in the hospital. Let me tell you, we will pursue this to the very end. Ning Ting was about to plead further. Mrs. Su, please, have mercy. Her phone rang. She paused and answered the call, her face immediately paling. What? Jingxian, you're saying you're outside the police station. Less than 2 minutes later, Lin Jingxian and Qin Yu walked in. Mom, we're here. Ning Ting's face darkened. She shot an irritated glance at Qin Ran. She had intended to keep Qin Ran's detainment at the police station a secret from the Lin family. But somehow, Lin Jingxian had found out and come here. Now, she feared she would lose all face. Lin Jingxian approached Ning Ting and asked what happened. Ning Ting quickly put on a pitiful expression and recounted the incident, exaggerating Qin Ran's supposed brutality. Jingxian, think of something. They're all students. Making a big fuss about this won't be good. Ning Ting breathed a sigh of relief inwardly. Thank goodness, her savior had arrived. Old Mrs. Su, seeing reinforcements arrive on the other side, showed no sign of backing down. Her voice rang out, sharp and accusatory. Are you all Qin Ran's family? I'm telling you, this matter absolutely cannot be settled privately. She must go to jail. Another voice chimed in. That's right. We must have an explanation. Just look at that girl's seductive appearance. Does she look like a good person? Qin Yu, sensing her moment to deliver a masterful performance, stepped forward, feigning concern. Aunties and uncles, she began, her voice dripping with false sympathy. My sister isn't an unreasonable person. There must be some misunderstanding. She then moved to Lin Jingxian's side, clinging to his arm as she spoke softly. Brother Jingxian, mother, if they don't want to settle this privately, then we'll handle it legally. Qin Yu's eyes flicked towards Qin Ran, devoid of warmth. Sister, I'm sure you wouldn't want to cause any more trouble for the family. If grandmother finds out, she trailed off, a sly, triumphant smile playing on her lips. Qin Ran, this time you're finished, she thought. Qin Ran, of course, understood the underlying meaning of Qin Yu's words. She glared back at her, her eyes blazing with fury. Mrs. Su, further enraged by Qin Yu's words, exploded. Your grandmother loves you. Don't you think I love my grandson? Seeing her agitation, the female officer standing nearby tried to calm her. Mrs. Su, please calm down. Just as Mrs. Su's fist was about to connect with Qin Ran, Feng Mingwei appeared. She surveyed the scene and spoke calmly. There's indeed a misunderstanding in this matter. Qin Ran, fearing for Feng Mingwei's safety, turned and snapped. Don't get involved. Feng Mingwei, go home. But Feng Mingwei stood her ground, unwavering. She was determined to protect Qin Ran, just as Qin Ran had protected her. If you want to handle this legally, then I want to handle it legally too. Qin Ran's face was etched with worry. Feng Mingwei, don't. Just go home. Feng Mingwei's expression remained resolute. She walked up to a police officer and asked in a clear voice, Officer, may I ask, what is the charge for assaulting and harming a minor? The story ends here for now. Updates will be provided as soon as they are available. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel. I love you all very much. Goodbye, and see you again.